And we're live. Welcome to the After Hour Show with Joe and Steve. I'm your host, Steve Mandy.
What's up? What's up? It's the Sleeping Giant. I'm here, Sleeping Giant. I'm sorry, guys. Had a long week. Not much sleep the past 2-3 days. What's going on, big guy? I get my screen right. Got to get
Not
used to this
much
delay,
delay
man.
going on, so
Yeah,
bear
yeah.
with us. Yeah.
We're right. We're both thinking the same thing.
Nothing much. We're we talked today about the show coming back, and this is the first episode now. So how are you doing? It's been, if anybody who doesn't remember, that I moved about what 2 years ago, would you say? I forgot when I moved.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, we're both the hosts of MMA Bug Podcast and the YouTube shows and everything. And ever since then, me and you've been just life got in the way, And you came to me like last week talking about StreamYard and this great technology. So I'm like, you were excited to start up the podcast again, and I've been fucking itching to do it. Like I said before, I
Did
said
you see a
yesterday, I
doctor
said,
about that?
I've been
What you
asked to do
did?
other podcasts.
Huh? I'm sorry. I'm being corny already, but it's the after
What did
hours.
you say?
I was just being corny already, but it's the after
Yeah.
hours. I love to be corny on that. Go on. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He was itching.
Next, to do other podcasts, but I'm like, it's not like the same because we built something together, and I always felt like it was unfinished. That life got in the way, and I had to move and stuff. And then,
Yeah.
You had a child, if you don't mind me saying.
No, it's fine.
Is that okay?
It's fine. No, it's fine. She just can't watch the show.
Yeah,
Don't make me think about my show already. Like this show, I was supposed to unwind. So like now I'm feeling guilty about all the shit we're gonna talk about, and all the stupid shit I'm gonna say. And immediately, what's the first thought I thought was, I hope my daughter don't see this show, which means the show's gonna be good. You know what I mean? It's gonna be good in a bad way.
What's scary is that she probably will see this because it is on the internet. And
I'm gonna tell her you gotta wait till 18. Well, right now, first thing, I'm gonna be one of those dads. She ain't getting the internet for a long time. You know what I mean? When they're young, she ain't getting it. Not my kid.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about that because I'm settling down now too. I'm about to get engaged and stuff.
Nice, congratulations. Yeah, we just got back, guys. When Steve said a week ago, it was literally a week ago. So I didn't even know that news because it's crazy. We're like best buddies. But we didn't talk for a while. I was like, let's podcast again, and literally days later, here we are. So again, tell me your life, Steve. What happened? What's been going on? So you're getting engaged. First and foremost, congratulations, buddy.
Thank you. Yeah, I worked at weird hours because I'm shift and third shift. So when you're awake, I'm asleep.
Yeah. What's your time right now? Are we on the same time zone?
Yeah, we're both like 12:07 here.
Okay.
This delay is killing me right now.
We'll get used to it. That's the COVID delay. Yeah, all the podcasts got that fucking stupid delay, man. Everybody's internet is good. Man. It's just your internet's gonna get a little better with that Ethernet cable you was talking about. But either way, the COVID is
into it.
Fucks it up. It even says it when you go online.
It'll be hard.
You notice that, right? The thing that pops up.
Yeah. Hardline straight into the computer, so it'll be quicker. We should be fine. But what I was saying is that you have a child now. At what age? Because we've got couple neighborhood, got a couple ones that are little next door, and they play around, and you hear them, and they're listening to TikTok, and they're listening to there might be like 6 or 7, and they're listening to Alex Jones and Tim Dillon, and as you know, that's pretty adult content and funny stuff on Instagram that me and you will laugh at. And I'm like, I'm stressing out because I'm like, do I let my kid have a cell phone? At what age do I let my kid even go on the internet?
Everybody's different.
Hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you was asking me already. Apologies. I didn't mean to cut you off. I thought you was literally asking me.
No, I'll have a part 2.
Okay. Part 2 of this question.
No,
A and B.
I'll have a part 2.
I'm going to forget A.
Yeah.
By the time you get to B, you're going to have to repeat it for me. But go on.
Okay.
Let them know I've been drinking for this. We're going to drink a little bit and have fun. Well, I'm just drinking. Steve's not drinking.
It's the after hours. We're all off work.
The after hours, yes.
So I guess what I was saying was like first, when have you discussed another? Have you um planned on when to get a phone? Because you have a um an older
When I would
daughter too, stepdaughter.
my older daughter's my stepdaughter, she already started with a phone. She had the phone earlier. But for a lot of different reasons she needed the phone. You know what I'm saying? Um my other daughter, my biological daughter, her, I'm gonna try to avoid that phone by any means necessary. The shit these kids are seeing is not fucking cool. It's not cool. Um, and every kid, there's good kids, there's bad kids, and even if your kid's a good kid, I feel like they're still gonna get curious, so they shouldn't have the phone. You know what I mean? Like, is I don't know. I feel like I gotta be strict. The shit I be hearing little kids talk about, bring up, watch. It was so much different from me growing up. You know what I mean? Um, the worst that happened for me growing up was like I'd be watching the movie and like boobies used to come and my mom would make me cover my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah.
but we didn't have the internet like that, and that shit fucks the kid's brain up. So if you're asking me what age, shit, the latest fucking age I could possibly push it. Some people need the phone for certain reasons, so I understand that. But yeah, that's what I got to say about that. What about you?
All right. And question B is that
Hypothetically, your hypothetical kid
I'll get a
that
second
you're probably
question for
gonna have
you.
one day. Hold on,
Yeah.
before we get to the part B, what would you say to that same question?
Because now the child needs the internet for school, and
Oh, yeah,
everything's done like on iPad. My girlfriend's oh, we lagged out. My girlfriend's a teacher, so everything's done over the computer. Especially now that we're all in quarantine, it's all done digitally. So, like you said, like I'd like long as possible because like what the internet has devolved into lately is scary. Like I don't want my daughter seeing half the shit that I see just on Instagram sometimes. But
um,
then you like, do you shelter them? That's like a dilemma too.
it is what it is. Like at the
I'm
moment,
like, no, sleep at night.
I'm actually thinking like, so you mean like you don't want them to see half the shit we're gonna show on the show? you
Yeah,
make
I'm the
All
cause
you're
of this.
doing is making me
We're gonna
feel
be the
guilty, pal. um,
yeah.
wait, shit. Did we get to part B yet? We're still on part A. I just think
No, I was
I
just giving
agree
you
with you.
my
I agree
answer.
with you. There's so much terrible shit on the internet. The kids should not be exposed. Some parents think it's okay. Some parents don't care. Some parents just deal with it because it helps them get through the day. I don't know what their struggles are, so it is what it is, man. But me personally, I don't I'm gonna avoid it as long as possible. And I'm guessing you are too, right? Because you
All right,
sound like you
and I
you
guess
agree
part
that's
B,
just terrible. Yeah, part B. What's part B?
yeah, part B is a little scary because it goes to deal with the phone in general. Is that
Okay.
what age do like as you see, I've been thinking about a lot of life stuff lately because I'm taking next
Yeah,
steps
I
in
know you're real deep.
areas.
I'm like, I
Is
thought
that
this
like
show was
when
gonna
do you
bug
have the
out, but we're gonna start deep. This is good because we could balance it now. Now,
well, we're just
but
friends talking. We're catching up.
yeah. Okay, so let's. All right. So I'm sorry. Back to part B.
When at what age about the sending nudes, the what to do over the what pictures to go out, that consequences of that this is going to be here forever and everyone can see it. You know what I'm saying? Like I think about that a lot, especially now that I have a niece that's
Oh,
only
what do you
3 years
mean?
old.
The delay got in the way a little bit. Did you say that like you were concerned with uh the pictures they put out when they're young, like being already out, so when they get older, they regret it,
Yeah,
but it's already out?
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Like especially the whole, especially being younger
I,
and sending nudes and shit.
I
Like,
mean, it's you
you
gotta try
do
to
you
you gotta
talk to
try
your
your
child
best.
about that?
Yeah, you gotta try your best to raise your kid right and tell your kid like, listen, how that's inappropriate. You can't control everything, and sometimes kids make mistakes. Um, But you got to educate your kid. You definitely got to educate your kid. You know, you can't just act naive or ignorant. And you got to teach them not to be a little thotty thot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, flat out.
Yeah.
Don't be a thotty thot.
Has it been easier quarantining with the family? Have you been getting guys like becoming closer together? Quarantine with your family, has it been like easier to come together? Are you having a good time?
Um, I don't know. I don't know if it brought us closer or if it brought us apart. I see people saying different shit. The way it's happening for me, it's just another day. Like in the sense of, you know, we live in the moment over here. We just go day to day. Like before this COVID shit, you know, we were like any average New Yorker where we're just getting by. And a lot of times the bills are so fucking high. No matter how much good money you make, you just always feel like you got bills up your ass. And this shit is just the same grind. So we just grinding. You know, while that's happening, you got all this COVID shit going on. You got the world fucking bugging out. Um,
Fire.
so the way we handle it is like, listen, there's two worlds to juggle. There's the world outside which we can't control. There's the world inside which we can't control. So we control what we can. You know what I mean? And while that's happening, we watch our backs and we see the shit going on, and you know, we hope for the best. That's pretty much the most you could do. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and get all Kodak and shit, be like, yo, it brought us together. You know what I'm saying? We playing board games and loving it. This quarantine shit is whack, yo. This shit sucks. Um, you know, some feel it's necessary, some feel it's unnecessary. Um, but you know, I'm more internal, man. We worried about the bills, man. This bill shit is crazy. Um, Regardless of what side you're on, this bill shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? I'm out in New York. You know, people are like, oh, you
Yeah.
know, you know, there's options, there's this, there's that. But while that's happening, if you watch the governor, he's flat out saying that New York has no money for unemployment. So it's like, what's the plan? You know what I mean? So, you know, but this is not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be a depressing show, Steve. What are you doing? You first you want to get loving, then you want to get.
We're just getting deep, bro.
I just teasing, but you know, you can't
We're getting deep. We're going
you can't get my
front
wheels
porch nine
turning
right
like
now.
that. You know, I know you like to pick my brain apart, so that's why we have a good show, because we like to you know, we like to get deep with shit. But yo, to be honest with you, I mean, shit. Now that you're talking about quarantine, a lot of this podcasting shit is venting. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, in the current situation, I was considered non-essential. My girl's considered essential at the moment, and that's pretty much the line they drew in the sand. You know, at least in New York, there's different places reopening, opening up, this and that. New York is fucked. You know what I'm saying? They got this circuit breaker system going on, and it's really complicated shit. You know, where I'm at is considered downstate, so it's gonna be tough, man. I don't know what to expect.
Yeah, we're kind of in the same boat as you. You guys, I think, went into phase two today. We're in phase one, and like you said, I'm sorry about getting deep, below, and we can't vent any of this shit because we're stuck in the house. You know,
Well, I mean, I don't
it
mind
sucks for
getting, you
everybody.
know, one thing I like about the after hour show, to balance with it is, and that's why you open and show the way you open, is on top of all the stupid shit we're gonna do and all the goofy shit, we do delve deep into shit, and we do get intellectual, you know. I guess what the shit I was going through was guilt, bro. Guilt, you know. He's talking about my daughter, he's talking about family, and on the after hour show, just so people know, like we're getting deep right now. We're gonna keep doing our thing, but it's gonna get crazy. You know, we plan to get crazy, and I just kind of feel like oxymoron shit is going on. The irony, you know.
Yeah,
But, you know, the quarantine got
like
people feeling like a roller coaster. You know, just a week or two ago, one minute you're stressed out, one minute you're inspired. Some people are just completely breaking down. Excuse me. In New York, it's 50-50. In New York, some people are just like, holy shit, with an epicenter. Excuse me. I don't mean to burp. I was drinking beer.
mhm,
Excuse me.
is
I was drinking beer, and you know, it's the epicenter, and it's just fucking madness, and it's just nonstop madness. For other people, they get by, they're taking it at face value, doing what they got to do. So it's real 50-50 in New York, you know? What
Yeah.
is it? What I
Well,
want to know is, what is it like?
you know,
I'm sorry, before you go on with the show, I'm going to ask you a question. Because I'm curious. You know, I told you about my experience in New York. What is it like in North Carolina?
well, like I said, it's very similar right now. Stage one, which I think they reopened some retail stores at 50% capacity, and it's been the same thing. Like essential worker, even though they kept us. Okay, I'm a custodian, as people know. I was union back in New York, and I moved down here. One of the reasons because so now I'm living, pretty good. Um, but they told us school be closed. We were in the building for 2 weeks after that about scrubbing everything, doing bleach and shit. This using heavy chemicals, and then once we did our job, they just got rid of us.
Yeah,
And they told us to file for unemployment, and I already got the memo. Um, and I deciphered it before my other crew members did. So I already applied for that night. I applied for
yeah,
unemployment that night, because there's so much uncertainty that they don't know. I'm like, but my salary's already in the budget. How come I'm not getting paid for that?
yeah,
And I had no answer. They had no answer. So we
yeah,
go to unemployment, and then like a week later, uh, they're like, "Oh, you guys are still getting paid. If you choose to, you can either go on unemployment or you can get your regular pay through the school." Late. You already filed for unemployment and everything. So that was good about that. But like you said, it's just strange to have essential jobs and non-essential jobs. Meanwhile, I have to go back. We all summer long. You have to strip down the school and everything. So right now, it just seems like my paycheck is on the back of the federal government instead of the school, because I opted to stay with. Because to be honest with you, it's more. Who else wouldn't want more, especially during a time like this? That and thankfully my girlfriend's a teacher too, so she's working from home.
yeah. You
To
know,
the
that's
way,
some.
because you said like, um, what were you saying?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I was gonna say that's something. Now that you bring it up, that's something that scares me. There's a lot of different people in so many different ways, um, that could use this situation to their advantage. So that makes me feel like there's always potential for corruption to extend things, make things longer. When I get angst because I'm just like, shit, man. Like, politics is a deep game, and regardless of what side you're into, I feel like both sides play their politics. It's called politics, and oh man, it's not just uncertainty, but based on what you said, it's also like I feel like things are gonna be prolonged as much as possible. Because there's so much things involved that just make matters worse. And people could benefit from it. You know what I mean? But go on with what you were saying.
Yeah. No, and I'm not too worried about like the show getting too heavy, because like even comedy shows, if you watch, just because people aren't laughing, it's not that they're not listening. I mean, we get goofy r- pretty often. So like when
Yeah,
we have
and
something
we
to
got a
say, I
lot of
think
shit
it's
planned. So stick
because
around, stick
you
around,
know
keep watching. I'm sorry again. I just want to add that this delay's fucking
yes,
me
keep
up.
watching.
Because sometimes I think it's a good moment to
Yeah.
slip something in real quick, but I end up cutting you off really hard. I don't need to do hard. Once this delay shit goes away, it'll be a little better. But for guys that don't know, that's happening to every podcaster everywhere. It's part of the COVID traffic. You can say on the servers.
Oh hell yeah! Everyone's on fucking Netflix. They're on Netflix,
Yeah.
Hulu,
Yo,
Amazon Prime.
speaking of real quick,
I mean,
we're
shit.
not gonna talk about it, but I'm curious. Just super fast question, off track. We're gonna go back. Have you seen Tiger King?
Of course, man.
All right,
Am I
beautiful.
American?
We're not gonna. I deserve to say we're not gonna talk about it on this show, because I don't want to give spoilers. Immediately, if we're gonna talk about it, you're gonna shut it off right now. So don't shut it off. No spoilers. We're not gonna talk about Tiger King, but I want to do a special side special minicast where we break down Tiger King. That way, if you already seen Tiger King, watch it. If you didn't, don't watch it. Spoiler, you know. But we're not talking about it on the show, so I really fucking hope you didn't just shut it off. But go on, Steve. I probably just fucked up my whole shit because I brought up the Tiger King. Then I'm like, oh my god, spoilers! Turn that.
I was
shit
done
the
with
fuck
like
off.
Tiger King.
Yeah, we don't fuck with spoilers. We're not gonna ruin.
I was
like
done
that.
with like quarantine week too. You know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look for other things now.
Yeah. I mean, part of this podcasting is therapy. It's therapy on both ends. Not only can people watch it and just tune the fuck out of shit or think deeper into shit. It's therapy for me. It's giving me something to do, you know, helping to produce the shows. It's giving me something to do, being on the show. I think right now, whether even if the stuff doesn't have you frantic, it's putting an emotional toll on everybody, you know? So I hope the show helps you guys watching, you know, tune out for a second or tune in. I know we're just talking about it too. We're like, yo, don't think about COVID as we talk about COVID. But that's how wacky our show is. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm just trying to. Yeah, you gotta be pessimistic. You gotta be optimistic. Like it's allowed me to like I've been able to like finish that up, even though I'm happy about it. Like I'm getting shit done. But you're right. It's for some reason like even though I'm home safe, there's heaviness in the air emotionally where it does affect you, you know. And I think that's like
absolutely
the consciousness of the world in a way.
You know, I've seen this thing on the internet. I forget how it goes exactly, but long story short, it explains that we're kind of all in this ocean, but everybody's in their own boat. You know what I mean? We're not in the same boat. And usually when people take a position, they never see what the other man or woman is going through or child. And it's you know, I like to examine the world and live in the world knowing that we're all not just created equal, but yo, like shit happens to everybody. Like life can be really hard, man. You shouldn't really be judging other people harshly because you don't understand what it's like to be them. Everyone gets caught up in everyone gets caught up in that. Other people don't understand what it's like to be me. They never ever think about what it's like to be other people. And there's always somebody that got it worse than you. So chill the fuck up. But I'm sorry, go on. And to that, I'll take a little swig.
Yeah. No, drink from me too. Take a swig from me.
I know. I gotta get you a drink.
This whole intro was pretty heavy.
Yeah, I know. They're gonna be like, bro, I didn't know the deep shit. And not to say that we're never gonna get deep. I want to get deep. Absolutely, we do. We balance the deep with the madness. But I thought we were gonna start with madness. It just means that it's gonna end sweet. We're gonna flow. We got so much crazy shit to get into. But yeah, you can spend a couple.
I got some stuff to show you that I want to show you, and I got a surprise guest now. I just texted him to see it.
Oh shit! Surprise guest on the first shit. I like surprises. Fuck it. Why not? What are we doing?
Yeah, it's to start off.
You got surprise.
You had a reunion. We have
You guys, you got his surprise money. All right, no, fuck. I was trying my luck. Go on.
There he is. I mean, can you see him yet? No.
No, I don't see it.
Look who it is.
Yo, that is crazy. What's up, buddy?
The old team's back together.
Yo, this just got lit. Can I use that word? Am I?
You're too old.
Young enough?
You're too old.
No, get him off the show. Get him off the show right now. What's up, brother? Good to see you.
How's it going, guys?
Yo, I think we got our third host. What you doing? Yo, since you're here, you want to become a host?
No, why not, right?
What's going on, brother? What's going on?
Surviving the apocalypse, you know?
That's a good point. Yeah. I mean, you got those Spider-Man skills. I'm sorry, go ahead. Go for it, Steve.
Well,
okay, so people already know that you have the MMA Bug crew together and this camera running around, you know, so the beautiful, wonderful Eddie Rivera, he's in the building right now. I had to invite him. I haven't talked to him in a while. I missed the hell out of this kid. He's one of my favorite people. I'm proud to have us all together.
This guy is big time MMA Buck. You know, like I know guys from MMA
always
Buck
ready
might recognize mine and Steve's face. But this guy right here behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying, was big time, right? He made a lot of things happen for us.
Oh, it's
And
fun
it's good to
times.
see you, buddy. It's good
Good
to see you,
you
buddy.
guys too.
Yeah. Yeah, this is nice, man. This is
came
good.
from
Oh, this show's gonna be great now. Yo, this guy opened up with some deep shit. Now that you're here, we're gonna get wacky.
All right.
But yeah, Steve, take the show. You got the lead, you're the captain of the ship. So go on, buddy. Yo, good to see you though. But yeah, we're gonna
First
do
of all, I just want to see
I'm sorry, go ahead.
how are you holding up?
Oh, me?
How are you holding up, Eddie?
Good. Working. I'm one of the few people out there. You know, I was doing 3 jobs, now down to 1. Due to all this, but yeah. Besides that, yeah.
It knocked 2 off, right? Yeah,
2 off.
It's sometimes, man. Sometimes,
Hard.
yeah. How many years has it been? So it was 2 years with you, Steve, and with you, what, a year, maybe more?
Yeah, I'd say a year.
Maybe?
Yeah, around.
Crazy. This is awesome, though. This is awesome. This is awesome. It's awesome. We were just talking quarantine.
Because you know, Eddie, after our show, we're just gonna fuck around.
Of course.
Yeah,
this is
quarantine blues.
This show is to heal the quarantine blues.
And now we're gonna get
Eddie. All right, so again, Steve, let's do it. Let's fucking do it.
Oh, okay. So I have a couple funny shit now because, as you know, we're all gamers. You know, Eddie, are you playing anything recently right now?
The new Call of Duty. Well, not the new Call of Duty, the Battlefield one.
And he said I was old.
That new one, the Modern Warfare.
You say the recent one. You say the new one, you sound old, Eddie. Just letting you know.
Besides that, yeah,
Oh,
nothing too crazy. Looking forward to a bunch of games like Cyberpunk right now.
Yeah, that looks great.
Can't wait for that. You can
one.
edit your genitals.
Joey, did you hear?
Wait, what? I didn't wait. Time out. You can edit your genitals. Time out. So you could choose the size of your junk. That's what you're telling me?
Yes, you can. So far,
there's a slider.
All right, that raises a
for
question.
genitals.
Why would that be necessary in the video game? Just for the fuck of it?
Anything you want.
Cyberpunk is being thorough. What is it? Cyberpunk 2077 or how's it go?
Yeah, 2077.
Yeah, that game looks awesome.
Yeah.
I did see a little bit of details on that. Whenever I see a game that looks really fucking awesome, to be honest with you guys, I tend to tune it out because I don't want to like spoil shit. So there's a lot of crazy shit I don't know, you know. But I know of the game you guys are talking about. Fucking great game. That seems like a game you would like, Steve. As soon as I saw that game, actually, I kind of thought of you. Even though I haven't talked to you in 2 years, I was like, yo, Steve will probably gonna buy stuff.
I'm in a funny where I'm trying not to waste more of my life on stupid shit like World of Warcraft and other games. Okay. And I'm trying to be productive, like with writing and you know, but it doesn't. Especially, it looks so you know, these people create these great worlds and immersion, and it's just like fuck. I mean, have you played The Witcher 3 yet? It's a masterpiece.
All right,
lost in that shit.
Time the fuck out. I just loaded that shit in. If one of you spoil anything, I'm looking at both of you. I actually just got Witcher 3. Listen, I'm a little brokish. I'm not fully broke. I'm brokish. So I buy shit on flash sales. I just got Witcher 3 with all the DLC. Don't ruin it. Anything. so find a way to talk about it gently.
So at the end.
You fuck. All right. I know you're not gonna do it. But go ahead.
Have you played Skyrim? You play Skyrim.
I mean, you could talk about Witcher's like I mean, don't be afraid to talk about Witcher. If you want to talk about Witcher's like good things about it, you can do that without spoiling the story. You know, like I could think of a million reasons why I bought the game. All right. So you guys say what you want to say. You want to talk about like how like
the story, but I'm saying like, you know, it's a sandbox, so you can literally log on any day, any time of the day, something that you want to get done. You know what I'm saying? And
that's my.
I'm like, I'm so good at these games. I want to, I get so good at these games that are so immersive. I'm like, how do I translate real life so I can do better in the world? You know?
I missed that. The delay fucked me up.
So
what did you say? What was the last thing you said?
Oh, I said get good at these games, and now I'm trying to take that and use the same approach for my real life, so that I can
Gotcha.
be CEO Steve, instead of wasting my energy on these games, even though I still love games. So now I would say that, I used to be a hardcore gamer, and now it's like the game really we'll go into this whole, but I used to be a hardcore gamer, and what was I gonna say? Oh shit! I
You
just
forgot.
brain fart. Yeah, I got angry real quick.
Talking about,
I got angry about the game. Okay,
sandbox games.
I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, now AAA titles have to really get my attention. Not even just AAA, but
Yeah.
to get my attention, because I bought some of these AAA titles. Like, we shouldn't really speak of this, but Anthem. Have you guys heard of Anthem?
Oh my god, yeah, I know Anthem. Ugh.
I got Anthem. I bought 2 copies for $20.
You poor creature. You poor creature.
It wasn't often
I'm sorry.
I bought it off the crackhead.
I'm sorry.
No, but I did honestly, to be honest with you guys, I bought 2 copies, $20. I bought it because I wanted to play with my fiance. The game is a cool game, but yeah, I understand there's mad shit wrong with it. They fucked up so much shit.
It's unfinished.
Yeah,
I paid $60 for this.
Yeah,
if I heard correctly,
and this is from a AAA title.
Yeah,
if I heard correctly, the game was actually made in only a couple months. The true base of the game,
that
like they hyped up the advertisement for it, and then they only did
which shows you
actual work.
Yeah, yeah.
Which shows you how talented BioWare is to make, because the game's fun. There are fun parts, but there's no content at the end. There's no content to do, and like you said, there's glitches and it's just lacking. You want to have hours of gameplay, and you can only blow up combos so many times before it all gets fucking boring and you collect everything in the game. So I have a real bad taste in my mouth from AAA titles and shit, especially from what else did I play? That was AAA. That just was shit.
I mean, there's a couple AAA titles that might have scorned you, but there's a bunch that delivered, But
what about Fallout 76?
Oof.
Fallout 76 is garbage.
I mean, yeah, that was trash. But damn, that was a couple months ago. Not to say you're outdated, you're old too. Eddie's old, you're fucking old. That was months ago. But but I'm heckling you. But on the same note, I 100% agree with you. Anthem was it was a shit show. Like, how are you gonna put out a game that pretty much relies on multiplayer online, and then it doesn't work? Fallout 76 Anthem was a moment in AAA title history where these games that have the money to afford to make a game that works are making the most fucking broken games. It's no excuse. You know what I mean? No excuse at all. So yeah, I agree with you. Fallout 76, I was a huge fan of it. I played the shit out of it. I ran all over that map, but ultimately I ended up selling it, getting other games. But there's still cool AAA titles, man. I know I mentioned I was brokish before, but any of you guys played the Final Fantasy VII remake? I picked that up. It's not often I pick up a game full price. I like to take advantage of the flash sales.
Oh, I was gonna mention everything with Bethesda, right? But we'll bring it up in a second. Yeah, we'll bring that up in a second.
But yeah, go back to the Fallout.
Oh, hold on. I'll say about the Final Fantasy, and then I'll let Eddie go. Was just that I've played the original, and I'm so attached to the original that now there's kind of like a cash grab where it's kind of ridiculous that the whole is Midgar, and they're going to make more games until the end of the story. That's a little fucking ridiculous because they're preying on people who wanted this for so long.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I definitely hear you. Maybe I'm lost in the sauce, because I felt the same way you felt, but I also understand. I'm a huge Final Fantasy VII head. That was 23 years ago.
Yeah, me too.
That was one of my favorite games of all time. Funny story. The only reason I didn't beat the game is because I lent it to my friend, and I grew up in Brooklyn. They robbed his house. They took my fucking game. And all I could think while he was telling me about how he was robbed was how my game was missing. I was just like, "Dude, this sucks." But ultimately, he wasn't. I mean, come on, I'm a little kid. It was 23 years ago.
Game.
They took my fucking game. Those bastards. If I would have found out who robbed that shit, man, that bastard. But anyway, so Final Fantasy VII. So I totally understand. I totally understand what you're saying, Steve. It is a cash grab. But on the same note, I kind of go back and forth. Maybe it's a justified cash grab, possibly, because they justify. I got the game. It's an 85 gigabyte download. You know what I mean? The graphics are fucking stunning. They're actually absolutely breathtaking. I did feel cheaping out, and I was heartbroken and upset that it only does the Midgard portion, because that's probably that's less than 0.25% of the actual story. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna drop whatever money is necessary to complete the chapters. I just hope they don't drag it out to like fucking 3, 4, or 5 games. So $60 a pop. They're fucking gonna be killing my pockets. But I'm such a hardcore Final Fantasy 7 fan. I'm getting over it. And I can't argue with choose a cash grab. But sometimes they kind of make me feel like, damn, maybe they got good points, because between the graphics and also too, do you guys got it? Any of you guys got it? I'm almost done with it. I didn't finish beating it. I'm in the late chapters, and they added tons of shit. You know what I mean? Like they really stretched out the Midgard portion. So it's a hard argument. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You guys
when
didn't
you're done,
even play the demo?
Because I
That
got
shit was fire.
it's worth it.
I haven't played a Final Fantasy. The only closely related thing I have was the Kingdom Hearts series, and then that kind of went huge.
It's funny you say that. All right, guys. I've been drinking. I got a confession. I'm 36 years old, and I've just started the Kingdom Hearts series.
Oh my god!
I'm from Brooklyn, and I've started the Kingdom Hearts series. But you know what, Steve? You brought up my daughter before. Growing up, we all watch Disney movies and shit. Everyone, so I don't give a fuck how thugged out you was. You watched some Disney movies. You know what I'm saying? So, because of my daughter, I watch a shit tons of Disney movies. You know what I mean? So I was like, fuck it. Maybe it's time to play Kingdom Hearts. I seen a flash sale. I love flash sales. For $20, they got Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3. I got more confessions. Kingdom Hearts 1, I played about halfway, and I almost rage quit and broke my TV and my remote. That game is fucking. That game is severely outdated. It's it doesn't hold well. The fucking platform is horrendous. You jump over and over for nothing. So pretty much I got halfway and I shut the shit off. I rage quitted. I watched the YouTube to catch up. Kingdom Hearts 2, it was rough. There was many parts that were dope. Some parts that were I felt like a chore. I pushed through it. I'm now in part 3, and I'm not ashamed to say part 3 is fire, son. I'm loving part 3.
If you're talking about gameplay, I'll give you that.
Joey.
But when it comes to story, it hurts.
The story's trash. It's a kid's story.
So bad.
But the gameplay is trash. And it's cool
it's really not a kid's story.
Absolutely, the story is fucking trash, bro. I don't even pay attention to the story, to be 100% honest.
Looted.
I don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm in the 3rd one, and I do not know a single fucking thing. Swear to God. You know what I'm saying? Don't know a fucking thing. But it's cool. The graphics are fucking sick in part 3. You know what I mean? I probably shouldn't cover my mouth on the podcast. But that's all I got to add about Kingdom Hearts since it came up.
Kingdom Hearts has always been very close to me. I played at 29 years old. I played it.
Okay.
I played it at the 3rd one. And, the 3rd one, when you walk away, you don't hear me say, "Oh, baby, please don't go." Simple and clean.
Wait, time out.
It was the way that you're making me feel tonight.
Is that copyright stuff? You warned me about copyright stuff. Didn't you?
We're caught. We gotta get out of here.
Hideki, what's her name? Hideki.
I want to say Yoshima, but I think that's just me saying Japanese names.
I think that you just think of a random Japanese name. I did the 3rd one, but I fucking hate that game. It was so bad. Eddie, what about you?
Yo, you know what?
I couldn't finish it. I got as far as Toy Story.
Me neither.
I couldn't, and I'm like,
I waited 12 years.
Ever since 2, I didn't care for anything in between. Birth by Sleep, the Dream. I don't care about any of those nonsense video games. I'll watch a video on that, but I just can't do it. After they introduced Xehanort and then Xehanort, but Xehanort is actually Xehanort, and that Xehanort is not the Xehanort that you thought was Xehanort. That's Xemnas, but that Xemnas is not the Xemnas that you thought was Xemnas. It just
more than me. All those names sound about. Sound about. I just made it up. But anyway, listen. Recently, right? My girl, right, was clowning me. She was heckling me because she knew I cheated on part 1. She was talking shit. She's like, "Yo, you a fake ass gamer." She's like, "You a bitch. You quit." I'm like, "Hell yeah." Sometimes you gotta quit. So I called the L on it. But anyway, so the shit you buy, it comes with like the PSP side game and all the other side games. It comes with like a whole bunch of shit. I skipped all that shit because those cutscenes, oh my god. Once I realized Disney characters weren't in all that side shit, I deaded that. I was like, yo, I kind of just want to see just Disney characters. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So anyway, by the time I got to 3, I was like, all right. My girl was like, what's the story? And I was like, all right. So this is what I kind of got from it. This is what I got from it, right? I was like, there's a dude who split into a dude, and then there's a couple other dudes that split, and then they each a piece of each other, and then they split some more, and there's another split, and then when you go back to the original, this whole time was this one dude who's a piece of this other dude who's a split of some other dudes, and then that was it. You know what I mean? It was just like, what the fuck is going on? That is the wildest, most confusing, most convoluted story. I really would like to know who wrote that shit. That is wild. Anybody that went through all those side games and the first, the second, and third, I give it to them. That story is fucking bro. I tried to force myself to watch it. It's just it's not a good story at all, bro. That's just crazy.
If me and Eddie try to sit down and we have to draw a diagram, and then your eyes would glaze over and you would fall asleep.
It literally would take a diagram. Like people probably like, they didn't play the game. They're probably like, oh, they exaggerate. No, when I said the guy split to the guy, there's like 10 splits. It takes a diagram.
So yeah,
let's move on.
Yeah. Actually,
move on to another game.
Heartless and also get your facts straight. Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm gonna think about it.
That's just gonna
I'm a Kingdom scholar.
Take its own. It's gonna take its own Wikipedia. That shit is so much, man. Disney, I don't know what Disney was thinking. Little kids can't follow that shit. These little fucking kids don't know what the fuck Xenohort and what's the other guy? All these motherfuckers, motherfuckers just split up. All these motherfuckers know is this Hercules. There goes Moana. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Like why? Why did they do that? I guess you could argue they did it for like motherfuckers like us playing the game. But nah, man, that's just right.
100% completion. This fucking delay. I said I was so addicted that I got 100% completion on both, and then I haven't even finished 3 because it's garbage. So
you didn't like 3?
Fuck 3.
That's weird to say because the first one, I played the remastered, so the first one, even remastered, the graphics were terribly outdated. When I got to the second one, the graphics got a little better. When I got to 3, I was like, yo, this game's kind of cool looking. You know what I mean? And I like the modern day Disney shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you didn't wait 12 years.
I mean, yeah, honestly, if you waited 12 years, because that's what happened with Final Fantasy VII for me. With Final Fantasy VII, gamers know they kept delaying that shit for like 15 years. They were like, yeah, it's out in next year. They said that for 15 years in a row. that shit is terrible,
Which is another thing that gets to me because Kingdom Hearts 3 Kingdom Hearts series wrapped around both Disney and Final Fantasy characters. But the third one takes out all these Final Fantasy characters that had huge impacts in the previous games. And I'm just blown away by that. I'm like,
you just said
Leon.
you just said the story was trash, though.
Well, the third story is trash. I like the first and second one. But like, there's still major players that are just missing, like key players that are missing from this.
So game. After all this, y'all don't like 3. That's what y'all telling me.
That I had fun.
I don't even know what to say, man. That's wacky.
You know how hard
I have to accept it. Yeah, I have to accept it.
Try to beat Sephiroth. Try to beat Sephiroth in Hollow Bastion number 2.
Oh my god,
I hate that place. I just want to go to the Disney World.
And Sephiroth in number 1.
Fuck shit up. But the combat in 3 is pretty tough. I ain't gonna lie. The combat, y'all didn't even like the combat?
No. compared to 2, it was a little simplified.
I mean, I gotta accept that. It's your opinion,
I
thought it was pretty cool. Yo, the fucking graphics, man. Those water particles, I'd be fucking throwing all the water at everyone, killing all of them. You know what I mean? And they got all the extra moves.
You got mystified by the graphics.
Crazy. Yeah. And they got a lot of action. You know what I'm saying? Believe it or not, there's a lot of action. You get attacked by like
12
100
years.
people that try and jump you. It's just crazy. So you waited 12 years. I understand. You're scoring. You're bitter. You're mad. So what's it? You think the hype got too built up? The hype was just too much.
What happened was that these characters, like Eddie said, that were involved in the story became a lesson of just straightforward. You would just like play. You would just play the movie. It had no original content. You just play the fucking movie.
Remember the Frozen level? The Frozen was just the movie. That was the whole movie.
No, because I shot myself at the Toy Story level.
Yo, honestly, that's what I hated about. Another thing I didn't like about 1 and 2 is pretty much just the story. In 3, I'm still in the beginning, and there was a lot of different shit, but I'm sure it probably just more the same shit, the same story. So I can't knock out. I'm not deep in part 3. Once I got Final Fantasy 7, I started playing that shit. I kind of left Kingdom Hearts alone a little bit.
Yeah, it's better.
All right, so take us on, Steve. Let's
what were you
move
saying
on.
about Bethesda?
I just wanted to go on how crazy they are now recently, especially with Fallout 76 and how they have no new content and everything they do now is just re-releasing Skyrim for the 100th time. Because I for sure when the new console comes out for the Xbox, it's going to be released with the new Skyrim edition with whatever.
Yeah.
And recently, what got to me was the Fallout 76 $100 subscription to play. I don't know if you had to deal with that when you were playing the game, Joe.
No, I got out of there a lot sooner than that. The glitches just got to me. They were really annoying. Fallout 76 was a game I was looking forward to. Then when it came out, all the glitches were just fucking it up. Every time they fixed one glitch, another glitch popped up. But me, my fiance, and one of my good buddies, we played that shit. And we had a lot of good fun, but by no means was that game done the way it should have been. By no means was that game a good game, in a sense. They also jerked people. Talk about money grabs. Excuse me. Like you said, Skyrim, that whole game, they ripped all the animations from Skyrim and from Fallout 2. I'm sorry, not 2. Fallout 3 and 4. I don't know if you guys are Fallout heads, but I'm a huge Fallout head. I played the shit out of multiple campaigns, Fallout 3, Fallout 4. I went crazy with the mods in Fallout 4. Yo, my fucking shit I built was crazy, bro. I built gladiator pits. I built monster zoos. That shit was crazy. I had fun with it.
Pretty much what I just want from them is just something original. And I feel like that's what they're just missing lately. Because it's just rehashed new games.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe we'll get it with 5 if they do a Fallout 5. Hopefully.
But Fallout 76
was same IP though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's the same IP, Ted,
Yeah,
something.
But
they need like a new refresher.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I'm saying. They might use, arguable. They might use the same engine, but they're gonna have to, I assume, come with fresh animations, fresh textures. When you look at Fallout 76, every piece, almost every item was literally the same skin and same animations from Skyrim and from Fallout 3 and 4. With 5, they can't do that shit again, especially after Fallout 76. If they do that, it's a wrap for them. It's a wrap. People are pissed off about 76. You know what I'm saying? Fans didn't take it well.
There's nothing really coming out that has me excited. Bethesda.
What, video game wise?
Naughty Dog just took a shit.
Yeah. Whoa, Steve.
That,
you watch your dirty whore mouth. What did you say about Naughty Dog? Oh my God. You're not one of those, are you? You're not going to play the game because it's woke?
No, I don't give a shit if it's woke or not. Okay. I'm just saying.
I hate how people are boycotted.
Would take the opinion. I'm not boycotting. You play what you want to play.
All right, fair enough. But when you think about it, why don't you? Why are you upset with Naughty Dog?
I never heard of this game. I gotta look it up.
Naughty Dog is a developer. Naughty Dog made Drake's Fortune,
Crash Bandicoot,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Last of Us, The Last of Us. We were referring to the company that made Last of Us.
Okay.
Last of Us.
And Last of Us 2 is coming out.
We're mostly referring to right now as The Last of Us.
I'm a huge Last of Us fan.
I heard the second one.
Fan. If one of you guys got something bad to say about Last of Us, we fighting. How's it going, guys?
No, that's the problem. That you're not going to get the same thing. You're going to get a bullshit version of it that has
Why you think so?
that has forced diversity and forced narrative.
But why you think so?
So far, it just looks that way. Like I don't know. Like okay, if I'm in an apocalypse situation, right? I don't give a fuck who you're fucking or who you love. Or if you think you're a man or woman or you're in a woman's body, that's fine. Or you be you. I'm not gonna go out of my way. You know, it's just weird. It's like just agenda driven thing that if we're talking about like apocalypse, right? But meanwhile, the whole antagonist so far in this game that's been shown is these a group of people that hate the LGBT community. And so it's weird, you know what I'm saying? And it's like it seemed like forced, like with a gay relationship, and then you can't play what's her father's name? Or I'm not her father, you know what I'm saying? First
Joel.
one.
Talking about Joel?
Joel.
Yes.
He's completely out of the game. Now I have to say, like, I'm not gonna speak too much about
That's a spoiler.
because I haven't read the leaks of the stories.
He's out of the game. First of all, you know what you fucked up?
Everyone knows
You're
that.
not supposed to look at leaks. You know what I'm saying? When leaks come out, why would you look at leaks?
I haven't looked at the leaks. Everyone just knows that. You can just hear that over the talks.
Well,
over
I'm in
talking
like
about
a lot of those game groups and shit, and
they announced it. I'm pretty sure.
I avoided that shit. What I got from it was guys were complaining that it was woke, and they were referencing some of the stuff you brought up a second ago, and they were complaining how like they believe apparently in the gamer world when they use the word woke, they use it to insinuate that you're forcing politics or you're forcing progressiveness or whatever you want to term it. But think about this. This is what I argued. Steve.
Reverse.
The Last of Us came out, what, 13 years ago? Do you remember the moment?
Yeah.
Do you remember the moment we found out Ellie was lesbian? That was a plot twist.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't perceived as being forced. Now, apparently, through the leaks, from what I got from the people complaining, they're saying that they're forcing, I guess, gay romance, and they're forcing that it's to hate white males, Caucasian males, and it's like it's a story, it's the apocalypse. It's somewhere in the Midwest. If it happens to be that a lot of the bad guys are white males or something, and they're chasing two lesbians, it's because Ellie was written into the story as a lesbian. And my assumption, my speculation is that it has something to do with love story elements. Last of Us is a story-driven game. So if you got a gay character and you're going to have love story references, which is something that's been done, is timeless. They've done that a million times for stories. Maybe the reason people believe it's a forced thing is because of the times we live in, where it's very political, it's very emotions driven, and people think anytime you happen to see a lot of gay on screen, let's say, that they're forcing it on you. But I argue that it's a love story. So if she's, I don't know, running around with her lover, I mean, she's gay, so her lover would be another woman. You know what I'm trying to say? Maybe it's not forcing. Maybe it's storytelling. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not arguing with that too.
Well,
I would
people
argue
are
that
saying it's
to the
forcing
people that are
because
saying that.
people are saying it's forced because the game's creator has been dealing with firsthand Arnita Sarkeesian, who, as you know, she was like the leader of Feminist Frequency. She's known about going to game. I think she was a game journalist much, but she was known to go to the game offices and kind of like the mob. You got a great game coming out. Let's say I'm the mob. Like this year, it would be terrible if something would happen to it. You know what I'm saying?
Mob.
She'd be like, "You got a great game. It would be terrible if politics in it. If you didn't have that diverse characters." So that in Uncharted, the last Uncharted, where Nathan gets his ass kicked by a bigger black woman, just for just the whole game.
No, and I
You know what I'm
bet you
saying?
some sensitive
So I
ass
think
people
that's
got mad about that. It's a story, you know. I don't know. It's my take on it. It's a story. You know what I mean? And it's a coincidence. But we live in these
but it
times.
wasn't good.
You know.
The story
You
was
know.
horrible.
I know. I know the director, the new director for Last of Us is considered. I hate that term. What's that term they use? SJW or some shit.
Social justice warriors, right?
It's kind of
Justice
annoying
Warrior.
because I feel like it don't fit in video games. You know, if people want to use that in any political debates or political banter, that's one thing. But any time a story does something perceived as positive or something perceived as gay or something perceived as progressive, people are like, oh, they're forcing this and that. And yes, maybe the director is somebody who in their personal time or their business time when they promote, they tend to be opinionated. We don't know if the game is trash. Play the game. Then if the story's trash, then if the game is trash, you could say they made a mistake by hiring whoever they hired. But what bothers me is that people are actively boycotting the game because they're associating it with being against their political agenda. And that's just fucked up because The Last of Us is a good quality game.
I don't know if The Last of Us 2 is though. That's what I'm saying. And the script, the whole script leaked, and people are saying I haven't read any of it. Like I said, I don't want to.
It wasn't the whole script. It was plot points.
I don't know.
It was plot points of an early build. I'm willing to bet the game is fire. I'm willing to bet the stories. You know, it is what it is. It's cool. You know, but
I think it'd be a shit story.
It's a dead horse to me because I see so much of that shit in the gamer groups. I spend time talking in the gamer groups. You know, I'm a hardcore gamer myself, and I like different genres, different games. But The Last of Us is one of my most favorite, cherished games. Yeah, you know, it's crazy. They try to say Mortal Kombat 11 was S. How the fuck do you say Mortal Kombat 11 is SJW? Because a character who not during the main story
they changed the wardrobes.
That's stupid though. It's
and the wardrobe changes of the women.
It's modernized. You know what I'm saying? The story in Mortal Kombat 11 got very military. They do. And yeah, they're shirtless. I know what you're getting at. I know what you're getting at.
You're telling me.
But listen, I'm sorry, guys.
It's the modern time, but you definitely see about any of this really, because I'll play the game if it's good or not, or I'll watch the movie if it's good or not. Like you said, it doesn't matter if it's a gay character, a trans character. If the character came over, remember last year?
All right. Have you played it extensively outside of like playing with I guess what I mean to say is this, right? I played all the story modes. I played the regular story mode, the different characters, and you know, Mortal Kombat is one of the most violent, brutal games there is. You know, everybody's story is different. Yes, the characters is not scantily clad, but Mortal Kombat's not about seeing scantily clad women. It's about bloody violence and fatalities and decapitation and dismemberment. So if the women in the game are scantily clad or militarized, I don't give a shit. Was the kill crazy? I'm with it. Mortal Kombat 11, yo, I pumped hours into that shit. That's one of my most heavily played games, and I just feel it's a shame that it got labeled something because of three things. The women were modernized. The story got modernized. You know what I mean? In the story, they made it that all the members became like a military group to stop the people from other dimension. So if you got women in the military, they're gonna dress like military clothes. So they gave them that shit. Then Jax, during his arcade like side story, all the characters when they beat the main villain or whatever, they got the power to change time and reality. So one character, Jax, he's an African American character, he decided to erase slavery, and people are calling that SJW. That's whack. There's fucking like 30 characters. One does that, and the game is woke. That's still so stupid. You know what I mean? That's all I want to say. I didn't want to get long with it.
I think this is a symptom of.
Sorry.
No, it's good. No, but I think we all have points here because going on about is like whatever the character might be. If it's a good story, it's a good story. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah.
Like I think what's happening now is that this is a symptom of I guess some forced inclusion, and people are just like now to it. So even if, like you said, like of course you want to go back and end slavery, it seems like that seems like a what's the word I'm looking for, like a noble thing, and I do, you know what I'm saying?
And it doesn't
So,
even
but
seem
I guess
like a
people are like,
you
oh,
know,
they just put it in the fucking game because of that.
I look at
They
it too,
just put it
like
in the game because
it's
of
plausible though too.
inclusivity.
It's plausible. If you got an African American character and they had the power to do that, they will probably do that.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like it's far fetched. So if it's not far fetched, how could you argue that it's forced?
It's very.
I'm not arguing that's forced.
No, I'm not saying you. I meant the people. Apologies. If it sounded like that was directed at you, it wasn't.
They were arguing that it was forced.
I meant those. I'm sorry.
They were arguing that it felt forced.
Yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie. I don't like to get sucked into petty arguments, but I love Mortal Kombat so much. I got sucked into a lot of petty arguments. And over video games, because I was afraid. I'm like, listen, this is my approach. Mortal Kombat 11 is so good. I really want to play 12. But if these stupid motherfuckers is out here saying boycott it, don't play it because it's against whatever the fuck political agenda I have that morning, now the 12 might not come out. I can't have that. I want to play the game. It's a good game. You know what I mean? I feel like people should leave that shit out of games. If they don't want to play it, don't play it. But if you look into the gamer groups, that's all they post about. Every 1 out of every 3 posts is about complaining about Last of Us. And when Mortal Kombat came out, it was the same thing.
Well, it's funny because you said it should be left out of games, which it should be. You're right. But this all goes full circle because Naughty Dog, who's working with Annie Sarkeesian,
but I'm saying what I'm arguing is, could it be a coincidence? Could it be a coincidence? Could it be a coincidence, right? And then at least to be fair, of times. I won't be upset, right? Check it out. I won't be upset.
It could be like a change of the times and modernization.
In the very least, I would be least upset if guys at least waited till the game came out, and then played it, and then they could, they played the game, and then they say, I wasted my $60. That game was trash. That game was this. That game was that. But these guys look at a leak and they say they know the whole plot. They say it's just bullshit and that bullshit and trash. I just think that's kind of like just whack, petty. It's presumptuous. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of kids in the butthurt people and shit.
Yes.
I have no opinion on this. I have played neither games or no. In the middle here.
Never played The Last of Us Part 1?
No, I haven't played.
I was asking you, Joey.
If you get a chance, play it.
I was saying, what? Were you talking about before? Were you saying that this is the way the games have been modernized? Like it's just like we grow as a society. Like, are they less scantily clad women? You think of us just maturing and not an agenda in a way?
No, not at all. I think it's trying to be realistic. If you look at it from a military standpoint, that's how I look at Mortal Kombat, at least in regards to Mortal Kombat. I believe the character design is amazing. I loved it. When I saw Mortal Kombat 11, I didn't even think, oh shit, they used to be more scantily clad. I thought this fucking shit looks crazy. I love the models. I love the combat style, the military style, the boots, the pants. You know what I'm saying? Covering up the belly button, covering up, because it makes sense. If you're fighting for war, you're not gonna be dressed like that. But then again, you could pose the argument that there's a character or two that's shirtless, and a dude wouldn't go into war shirtless. But I would counter argue that that's the extra skin. The game has lots of extra skins. You know what I mean? And some dudes is like, like that. They're like, fuck it, I'm gonna go shirtless. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Like Kotal Khan and shit. I would say it was progressive.
Oh, that's the easy one because Kotal Khan is indigenous. Of course he's shirtless. Kodokan is indigenous. Of course,
But I'm
he's
saying
shirtless.
like
It's an easy one. Like Jax is shirtless. You could be like, why the
the
fuck
only
is
ones
Jax
that the
shirtless?
only because he's jacked. But I was saying like the only real change
Exactly.
of
That's what I was saying.
of the people are only saying because the only real change of the character costumes you see is mostly from the women. Meanwhile, you have Scorpion's tits are still out. He looks hot as fuck. Fucking Sub-Zero's all jacked and shit. Jax is, and you know they had other games like I'll give you another example of another game that came out a while back, a couple of years. You remember Mass Effect Andromeda, where they
it's
made
funny you
all the
brought that up
men
because you mentioned Bioware.
handsome,
I love Mass. I
looking
love Mass
exactly.
Effect.
Rest in peace, Bioware, because they're into the shitter too right now. Anthem.
There's so many people in the shitter.
But you know,
Yeah,
Andromeda.
so say what you were saying about Andromeda. Andromeda is one of the
Andromeda
games I bought. I was just gonna say I bought it on a flash sale. I haven't beat it. I haven't played it. It's in my backlog. Excuse me, but Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 I did play. So tell me about Andromeda so I can answer your question. I'm sorry. I just wanted to give you the backstory.
I would say that the female, for some reason, the female models, like all the male models, look like counterpart actors who were models, like legit Lifetime models. Meanwhile, they made the females, I guess, stranger looking or not as much close to modeled characters for some reason.
I can't.
You know, that's
I
what
can't
people are
give my
complaining
opinion
about.
on
I guess.
To be honest, I can't give my opinion on that because I have.
Well,
the
you can
only
look.
Game.
They actually have. They have side by side comparison of the two. They have side comparisons of that.
I mean, you know, since we're on this subject,
what's been brought up.
Since we're on the subject, let's take it to Cyberpunk. I heard it's not even a rumor. I think it's official. But I heard in was it Cyberpunk that you can pick either gender or no gender or something like that.
Yeah, I think you could be whatever you want to. Well, this is going to transition to because I wanted to show you because this the new Warriors came out a few weeks, and I want your opinion and Eddie's because you guys are both like me, Marvel fans. You know, we like pretty much the same characters, Marvel, DC. You know, we love it all. I've seen you play, Joey, play Days.
There's a new Warriors
was the one on
lineup.
the iPad.
That's what you're about to show me.
Yeah, which people are saying is woke too. So I'm gonna share my screen right now.
You know what? Comic books is different from video games. In comic books, there is sometimes some forced shit. Comic books, you know, I can't argue with guys. So some comic books are garbage, but I feel like in the games.
Well, we're just gonna talk about the characters. We're just gonna call. Yeah, we're just gonna talk about the character design right now. That's all everyone's talking about anyway. Because this is actually like transition to. So the old Warriors was like this is like the new Warriors where the new Warriors are teaching the newer generation.
Okay.
They were like a little darker and badass and shit. So they have a couple new designs, new Warriors. So we have the first one, and a couple of them have like names like are play for the times. Like this is Screen Time. He's like a meme lord who like first of all, the art. I gotta be honest, as an artist, I don't like the art at all. It looks really bad.
Well, that's you know, it's funny you say that. I'm sorry, go ahead, Eddie.
I was gonna say this looks like a half-assed drawing from some random animator they got. From what I'm looking at right now. But yeah.
What I got.
So what do you? So what do you think of him, Joey?
What I got from it is that they're going for a specific demographic. If you look at what I guess what they would argue what the younger crowd is into, this is the kind of cartoons and drawings I see a lot.
Yeah, I'm getting
as
Ben
far
10
as the new material coming out. Yo, I was gonna say Ben 10 exactly. Totally, it's totally Ben 10. What else you got?
And he's superpower. I guess he's this guy.
Oh yeah, what's his
always
superpower?
connected. His powers are pretty lame.
That's
by
my favorite part. What's his superpower?
He's like always.
He's what?
He got exposed to his. He got exposed to his grandfather rental internet gas, so he's always connected to the internet, so he can Google your shit real quick and do everything that we have a phone.
I was about to say
all the time.
That sounds so lame. Did you say internet gas? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is internet gas?
It's the internet and the gas.
We gotta find out.
Wow.
He's next to shaking up
meme
the
obsessed. Wow. Yeah, they're totally going for like what they think is, I don't know, what these younger crowd is going for.
The lead creator on this says that the old Warriors were too cool for him, so now he's making. It's people who aren't really fans. It seems like that are taking over these IPs.
That happens a lot in
changing the
comic books.
Demographic audience.
That happens a lot. I feel like they
Yeah.
give reins to people who have got no experience in the field, and they you know, I can't think of a lot of examples, but I got a buddy of mine that we used to chill out and just shoot the shit, and you know, he put me on to a lot of shit, and they'll just get people from literally like never had any experience in comic books or even storytelling, and they're like, "Yo, you want to do a comic book?" It's
Yeah.
crazy. I'm done.
Two are making the
Delay.
headlines.
All right, next character.
They've been
I'm sorry, unless you want to add
two
something.
characters, are brothers and sisters.
Okay.
No, I'm just gonna just save it until because I gotta reveal it as I say it. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about these two. They're brother and sister. I'm sorry, she's not. She is what's it called? Not asexual, but genderless. What's the genderless one?
Non-binary.
Non-binary. She's non-binary. Okay. Non-man, no female. They said that they're called Safe Space and Snowflake because they wanted to make a trope of joke on the names that people give people who are left wing and she's the girl, Snowflake's the girl. Well, I mean, non-binary shit. He's like the jock. Safe Space. He's pink and she's blue.
All right.
And I guess
first thing
more
I'm
of a
gonna say,
defensive power. Like, well, she like makes icicles and throws them at people. I believe.
You said Safe Space is a defensive power.
Yeah.
This shit is cheesy as fuck. This whole trying to make a joke, the Snowflake Safe Space. I don't know. I just think it's cheesy.
Like a anxious person make this up, like.
Yo, that's a good way to put it, Eddie. That's what made me think like it's so much angst off of this. Like, it's so like. I hate those guys that say shit is forced because I think a lot of them are overreacting. But I think this is forced as fuck. You know.
I mean, with the name of Safe Space, like.
Yo, they could have left it. They could have left it at. I'm sorry. What is the correct term? I don't want to offend nobody, but I think you said. I always fuck it up. What is it? You said binary, I believe.
Non-binary.
I'm sorry.
Non-binary.
Non-binary. They could have left it at that. To name it Snowflake and Safe Space and then give them these fucking pastel colors. I don't know. It's cheesy. I don't like it. It's Ben 10 cheesy. Mm-hmm. That's my vote. Ben 10 cheesy.
It's too safe.
Character design is such shit. Like it looks like
the character design, it's so the outfit, the name is what bothers me the most. Snowflake and Safe Space is so tacky. I don't know. That's just me. Sometimes I feel guilty when I judge harshly.
To me, this is beyond force because like the male somewhat feminized with the pink. I like pink. I wear pink all the time. But I'm saying.
Oh shit! Yeah, good point. I didn't even realize.
Why would he be pink?
I was so distracted by the stupid names. Well, that's why because they're really trying to. They're forcing it. They're going hard. They really wanted to make a point. They're going hard.
There's a strange war on femininity where you can't be feminine. You have to look like a boy.
I don't know if it's a war on anything. I just think it's them trying to capitalize on representing all the different spectrums. You know, these people, they want to make money and shit. So they're looking at it like that.
Well, I would say that, but it's strange because looking at like the statistics and the facts is that if we're talking about transgendered and non-binary, it's a fraction of the population. So who are they trying to?
Well, all right. I'm glad you said that way because that kind of reminds me of this argument with Last of Us. Somebody argued that because the population was 80% Caucasian and because most gamers are white males, that you can't make a story that'll put them in a bad light. That's stupid. Storytelling is storytelling. And maybe it's a coincidence that a certain group or a certain whoever is put in a bad light. Huh?
You can't put it.
I'm sorry, your delay. I really couldn't hear you. You sounded muted.
You can't put who in a bad light because of the Caucasian population.
Well, because it sounds like you're implying that because it's such a small fraction of the population that why would you do that? But it's a niche, not all. Sometimes they try to capitalize on the bigger demographic, and sometimes they try to get a capitalization on a hardcore fan base of a smaller demographic or a niche. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I think. Is it? I know what you're trying to say. You're saying like logically, if they're the smaller amount, why would you try to make something to cater to them to get them to spend money on your product? But I just think it's another capitalizing ploy.
See, my thing
But
is
done. Whack.
But no one's buying these.
Yeah.
That's the problem with.
My thing is just looking at them. Like, I don't mind a non-binary superhero, like whatever, but like make them cool. This to me, this is insulting a little bit. This is like taking that angle and saying, "Oh, everybody who's non-binary, transgender, are always like this type of person, a safe space. I'm in my safe bubble." Kind of thing. Not everybody's like that. Like, have your character have confidence. This doesn't seem like you're going for that angle.
That's a good point. If you're going, if you're not just capitalizing, you're really trying to represent a certain part of the community, make them cool. Like Eddie said, definitely. They that whole safe space and Snowflake almost is mocking. I know they're probably trying to flip it like it's empowering by mocking, but I don't know. It doesn't come off that way.
On the point of capitalizing on this, who are they capitalizing on? Because no one's buying this stuff.
Well, that's something I don't know about. If they're not buying it, they're not buying it. But I look at it like maybe they'll attempt it. Listen, I'm Latino, right? And at a certain point, Telemundo, everything. They Latinize everything. Sometimes companies try to take advantage of the trendy oppressed group at the whatever time, and they try to make money, and it fails or is successful. So I guess maybe in this case it failed. Or maybe they are forcing it. I don't know.
We don't know yet. I don't think it's out yet. So I'm
just saying that. I think maybe it's
speculating.
Them. Huh? Yeah, speculating. Where I feel you. So what's the next character? How many more characters left?
I think there's 2 more. This one is he's a vampire. he could be
so stupid.
He had a transplant or some shit like with Morbius.
Yeah, let me read that at the bottom.
I
saw Morbius being involved.
Vegan vampire.
A teen. Yeah. Whoa, you say vegan vampire? Don't fucking tell me that. This is so forced. There's no way. This is definitely forced. Teen living vampire exposed to Morbius blood as a child in road, but life-saving. He's still. Yo, this shit is crazy.
Vampire. You were just defying yourself.
Highlighted?
It's hard to read. I'm trying to read the bottom.
It
was almost like the letters are getting smaller.
He definitely drinks blood.
I don't even know what to say, man. This is starting to leave me speechless. It's very peculiar, man. I don't know, man. You guys input.
They didn't even try.
He's like a rock star vampire. I don't know.
I just hear the voice. I'm vegan. I'm a vegan vampire. I can't.
And why would you even try to make him vegan? Like vegan.
Do they know the vampires?
It's whack. It's just whack. whack.
I don't know if he's vegan.
Oh, you fucking.
I don't know if he's vegan. I'm just saying, but the question is like he definitely drinks blood. Like they'll probably do a spin on it. But what I'm saying is like back to this and back to the non-binary Snowflake. What does it matter if they're non-binary or gender? I don't get that. How does that make part of the person's being or character?
But your question is almost like irrelevant to their purpose because it's obvious that they're going hard. Like you raised a good question, absolutely.
So, So you're saying that because they're using that the terminology as a selling point. Meanwhile, us
some weird ass
look at it and think like, what does that have to do with good story writing?
Well, no, this ain't good story writing. Based on his character design, the story is probably gonna be whack. I was using storytelling to defend certain pieces, like A Last of Us 2. I feel like Last of Us 2 is being judged unfairly because it's based on leaks. if the game came out and then people said this, then I would have nothing to say. I would have to shut the fuck up because everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I just think that saying a plot is whack, even if you saw all the bullets, it's early prototypes. Even those bullets might sound whack as bullets, but if you played the game and you saw the story, it might be captivating. Don't be a hater. I'm not saying you're a hater.
Well, I hope you're right.
Yeah, I hope so too. I
No, dude,
feel
I'm
like
not
I'm
even
to
gonna
get
play
the
it. To be
game.
honest.
No, don't you say that. Hey, you're lost, buddy.
I'm
I'm
listen,
trying
you
to
tell
play.
me to play. Like I said, I'm not buying anything. I'm not buying anything from AAA anymore. I'm waiting
I
for
don't
your
play
review.
for that,
And
though.
we
Yeah.
So
can do
what,
that
you
live
only
on the
buy
podcast.
indie
I wait
games?
for a review
'Cause-
until I buy AAA game of these days.
So give me an example. What would you buy?
I-
Is this like indie or triple? Like what is there?
Recently, I did buy a big game that I bought was The Witcher 3 because of all the great reviews. And that took, I mean, that's like 3 years old already. That's how long it takes me to buy a game. You know, it has to prove something to me. Because I
Right.
wasted my money on shit like fucking Anthem and Battlefield, where I had to spend 100, Star Wars Battlefront,
Mm.
where I had to spend 160 for the entire fucking collection. You know,
You know, you brought
where
up
it ended up like a
what's
mobile
funny
game
is
where I
you brought
couldn't
up
do.
you brought up the three, maybe there's one or two more games you can mention that they did that. They were horrible. They jerked the fans, they jerked the people, they ripped people off. But all the other games are fire. I'm one of those guys that whether it's flash sale or I forgot a way to get it, I play almost every AAA game there is, you know. But you're 100% right. Star Wars, they were jerking the shit out of people. Fallout is straight trying to pull a rip off. Anthem was a catastrophe.
It all happened. It all happened around the same time, so you can see why I'm a little vexed and untrustworthy.
Scorned.
You know, I'm
Scorned. What's the next character?
Yeah. All right. There she is.
Yeah, this team is,
Trailblazer. Her superpower is
What's
that
her power?
I think she found. See that backpack?
yeah.
Yeah, that's it. She can pull things out of her
I'm reading
backpack
it
in
now.
a pocket dimension.
So it's
From
Fat
which
Dora
she
the
can
Explorer.
pull out
It's just
useful or random objects.
it's
It's
Fat
not
Dora the
always-
Explorer.
You guys, anybody watch
Or
anybody saw Jumanji? You guys watch Jumanji, the reboot?
Yes. Think about that.
This is Kevin Hart's power. Remember the backpack?
Yeah.
It's infinite room.
he also dies from eating
This, the designer behind this, they probably said they were a hit because this is probably what they asked them to make. But
I'm
this
getting
is kind of tacky.
Jubilee vibes, but not a good way.
I like Jubilee. Yeah, I used to love Jubilee. She was one of my favorite characters. This is not in a good way.
This is a color brand.
This is some boring ass shit.
Yes, the color. Yeah, we probably sound like haters, but it's mostly the color. It's the color and the whole idea, the power. You know, I don't know.
Do any of
Even
these
the
people
drawing, her head should be a little
girls, though?
bigger. Even if she's a big girl, her head should be a little bigger. Like her head looks
No,
a
they
little too small.
Yeah, it's his shoulders. Yeah,
It's a body positive thing, man.
yeah, I see it. She kind of looks like a triangle.
It's
Well, she's
crazy.
wearing
Yeah,
a hoodie.
yeah. It's when does this shit come out anyway? I don't plan to buy it. I mean, so you don't really gotta know or tell me. But it's crazy. Yo, there they look like fucking Captain Planet.
Yes. Yeah. I'm trying to figure. What are they showing?
And this is
Yeah.
what they did, huh?
I think it got
Yeah,
canceled.
you know what? A lot of new comic books are trash. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I've seen a lot of other shit. My buddy's showing me. I was just like, what the fuck is going on? They really fucked that up. You know, and you know, they'll argue that you know, oh, they're forcing shit, they're not forcing shit. People argue video games always been controversial. I'm sorry, comic books always been controversial. Comic books always, in some shape or form, in some degree, try to force politics or new progressive ideas on you. Yeah, they always did that, but they did it in more tasteful manners. Some of the stuff in the comic book world has been bad. You know,
Does this look Does this chick look anything like a superhero at all?
No, she just looks like someone you see at a college, just
If
walking
I got
by.
rid of the colors,
I mean, that's a tough statement because no one knows what a superhero looks like. You know, it could be anything, but it just I don't know.
we
It
have
doesn't come off
decades
appealing.
colors. We got Rogue. You got Storm.
I love Rogue. I love them. You can't beat
You don't want to
90s
see
X-Men.
ordinary.
They're the best. Can't beat Uncanny.
Well, these guys are they're the young X-Men. They have worse bodies than the
Yeah.
50-year-old X-Men.
But they're not the 90s
I'm saying that
Uncanny
it's
X-Men.
fantasy.
All right. Is that the last character?
Dude, I think it's
What is that?
yes,
The
sir.
last one? All right. So what's
Yeah,
up? New
that's the last
topic. What else
character.
you got? Because the
Because we wanna-
Warriors just disappointed me. I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
What, are you angry?
No, I'm not angry. I'm
You're angry
disappointed.
about the Warriors?
It's whack, you know. So we analyzed
Yes.
how whack it is, and it's time to move on. What you got? I know you got more stuff. We brought a lot of topics, Eddie.
Excellent. I'm with it.
And look, we're already an hour deep in. So let's hit another topic or two. Let's take a 10-minute intermission. I got to use the bathroom, and then let's run through. Let's try to run through the rest of the topics. You got time to stay up with us, or you getting tired?
I don't know how long you guys plan on being up. I got work at 11. That's pretty much it.
Oh yeah, you go anytime you got, Eddie. Anytime you want. I totally understand with the work. Don't want to fucking work. I appreciate you hopping on. Thank you. You know what I'm saying?
No
Thank you. So what you
It's
got
fine.
next for us while he got on? You just cut in and let us know. Steve is editing, so when you gotta go, you gotta go.
All right. Sounds good.
I see. Ready, Doug? What we got? What you got for us?
Oh yeah.
He's so
this is still kind of
casual.
on the gaming topic.
All right, yeah, that's fine. I just want to get off Warriors. What you got? What you got?
Still on the gaming topic because we're pretty deep now. We're talking about nuance, and these are good ideas, and I like them.
Yeah, there's gonna have to be a
We're,
part two. When the
good
beats
points.
after intermission will be like part two. But get tell me more gaming. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. This delay makes it a little weird. Apology. I apologize.
Well, do you watch Twitch at all? You're from
I'm sorry. Do I watch what?
Twitch streams.
I don't watch Twitch streams live or direct, but when they pop up on like Facebook, I watch some sometimes. I don't know people by name though.
Eddie, do you subscribe to anybody?
No, I really am not a big Twitch watcher. I'll usually I'll just watch like a YouTuber gamer that way, in that sense. Because I just feel like a lot of them just kind of
Good, because we're all in the same boat on this. I don't really watch it either. Actually, I don't think I've ever watched a live stream, but I hear the news about it, so I want our opinion because I've heard. I'm gonna sound like a fucking old guy right now because this is older news, but it just got a new I guess it's been revitalized a little bit because Twitch has updated the terms of service with I guess some of the streamers, and some people get banned and shit. So a big thing on Twitch was like body painting. Okay, so it would be like people get angry, guys mostly because like guy gamers, because sex sells. You used to have like, I'll give you some examples. I'll show you my screen. This is like this is a girl that actually got banned during it, but this one right here, what's her name? Mizzy Rose.
What do you
She
mean?
used to do
I got a question. It said she got banned.
I'm gonna get into it. Hold on.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah. But I'm saying this girl just got in trouble too. I think her stream was banned for like a day or some shit because of terms of services, because of this kind of, she's always been doing this. And
I'm confused. For what? For
before
that
this,
exact picture?
Oh no, hold on. I'm gonna get to it. I'll
sorry.
ask the question at the end. I'm just setting it up. But what it's
Sorry,
like is,
sorry.
she was doing like abstract paintings first, right? And then with like 23 views, and then like she started doing this shit, and her talented artwork, I guess, that people are tuning in, or could it be something else? We don't know. You have a lot of like popular streamers that are getting like 2,000.
She's talented,
views,
but they're tuning in for
which is
something else.
a
You
shit
know,
ton of people watch.
I'm sorry, I got to stretch
They all
y'all.
have something in common. They all have something in common. They always have these giant fucking talent, Like this is Zombie
Giant
Unicorn.
body
I'm a pretty fan of her. She's
part.
pretty cool. Yeah. And people subscribe to them and shit like that. And I was, what are your opinions on this whole body painting? I guess fad. Like, do you think like it should be? Is it unfair to people who can't really get this kind of view?
Who do you want to take it first?
Whoever. I was saying, like, what do you think about?
Go ahead. You go
I
first.
just show you something new? Did you not know that was going on?
You want to do paper rock scissors?
That's fine. I got it. I guess personally, I guess it kind of makes sense to agree to. I don't think banning them, but because all in all, it is a gaming like spot to go to, and you are going to attract like young kids. So from a certain angle,
now they changed it. Like they don't. They're wearing. I'm sorry to interrupt real quick, but they're wearing pasty. Hold on. Now they have different sections like just chatting, or I think art sections and stuff where people play music. They're wearing pasties and will focus on their face first, paint that up, then do the chest on camera. So like this, like it'd be looking at my face. They'll do the chest up, cover up the pasties, and then lower the camera, not fully nude. You know what I'm saying? So does that change your opinion at all?
But
people are really butthurt about this.
About it or something, because I still get it. Like, you know, if you still have kids kind of roaming around, you know, you put like a kid on the computer, I guarantee you they're going to find a website they didn't mean to find. To a degree, I do think there should be like a mature level thing. Like I do, what's it called? Mixer. My friends stream on Mixer, and we'll just do it for shits and giggles when we play a game. But like at least that has like, hey, are you over 18? What is your thing in this before you enter the stream? So at least that has a kind of circumstance to it. I don't know how Twitch rules go. I really don't use Twitch that much. But if anybody can just hop on that, I guess I understand. But if they're really not showing really much, then I guess you should be more lenient instead of banning someone, give them a warning. That's my opinion on that one.
I just realized to the full extent what you guys are talking about. So these people, they're body painting, right? They dress in body paint, but they live stream. That's what you guys are telling me?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes,
all right. That changes my stance a little bit. All right, boom. I gotta agree definitely a lot with what Eddie said. You know, because if you're live streaming, you don't know what could be around. I thought this was like people were attacking body painters, and I was like, yo, that's crazy. Why are you hating on them? But yeah, if you're live streaming, you know, I don't have Twitch, like Eddie said, but there got to be some type of guidelines because, yeah, you don't know who's around. And twitching definitely is going to attract a lot of kids. It's a gaming service. Yeah, it's crazy. You know, something that came to mind was that I forgot how I came across it, but seeing random crazy videos, and I think it was craziest things that ever happened where people thought their live stream was off, but the live stream was on. Crazy things from deaths to like they found out people were being fucking domestic violence. But there was a girl who apparently started masturbating. You know, if you got little kids that could be on this shit, they're gonna learn about the person, the bees tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like crazy shit happens. That I guess they kind of got to regulate it. And it is what it is. You know, these chicks that I don't want to say these chicks, edit that out, I guess, right? I don't want to get canceled. What's the what is this? Cancel season because I said chicks. That sounded so weird, old school. Because I'm actually like all about women's power. I love powerful women. But anyway, what I was getting at, you know, I don't need to defend myself. But you know, if they want to Twitch and they want to play games, then play the game. Why you need to play the game in the body paint? Let's not play coy and be immature like you're not trying to cater to perverts and make some fucking extra money, or for dudes who are like, you know what, they're not naked but they're half naked. It's close enough. You know, so if they want to play coy, whatever, we're all fucking adults. So if they want to hate, then they hate because I'm taking this position. But I mean, come on, let's be real. You know, any streamer, any content creators trying to make money. If they're on Twitch and body paint, they're trying to maximize their profits, and they got a fair advantage over like some fucking sloppy ugly guy. You know what I mean? It is what it is. I'm sure they're mad. It is what it is.
What's that?
Survival of the fittest. You know, when it comes to getting money, when it comes to love war and getting money, all is fair. I guess you could say. Except don't be an asshole. Don't be a scumbag to make money. So that came out wrong. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that sex sells. And if you can sell it, then I guess you can sell it, man. I'm not gonna hate. It is what it is. I understand the guys getting jealous, but they have to get over it. It is what it is. But like you said, because it's
Well,
live, they
well,
need to regulate it,
and-
and they can't let them be in body paint. I just meant overall, when you're a content, when you look at the Twitch, you got females on there who actually are gamers, and you got females that exploit it, and they just show their body and they make money. We can't pretend that there aren't girls really doing that. I know they might say, "Hey, you're being shallow or you're being judgmental," but it is what it is. But I also don't knock any female who shows a little, not shows a little bit, but any female who takes advantage of a little bit of the fact that they're female. Guys want to see females, they're pretty face, whatever the case may be. But they're going hardcore with that exploitation shit. Body paint, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty much pushing the guidelines. You can't get naked, but you're naked. So the perverts are like, oh my God. What a thirsty ass motherfuckers.
And to say that there aren't watching, like, of course there's guys who just tune in to see you naked.
Yeah.
All right. On this subject with, because I just don't understand, like, it's kind of like, this is kind of like, I don't know, Twitch is so strange because it's a gaming site, but then this stuff has evolved to like where they're showing their bodies, and I think it looks pretty cool. I'm kind of like a fan of Zombie Unicorn. She's a gamer too, and it doesn't bother me. I guess there's people that are upset because, like, I show my girlfriend this shit. She's like, "Yeah, it's pretty cool, actually," people that are angry because they don't have that. Like, I'm not gonna body paint myself, and I think even if I take off my shirt, I would get banned. And there is some favoritism to these girls. Twitch guys are pretty young. The Twitch board is pretty young, and they like there's people that should have got banned for less. That get banned for less, and like because they're women or they have a big following, they get away with kind of like murder and shit. So I guess that's why people.
All right, Sleeping Giant's gonna get real for a second. If they're mad about that, they need to get the fuck over it. The girls that want to do it, they need to get the fuck over it because they can't do it anymore. I guess they're gonna start regulating, or they should. You know what I mean? But nothing's stopping them from being in body paint. There's plenty of cosplayers and body paint players. I don't know if you call them players or whatever. That partake in that culture, have the Instagram. They can make money. They can make money doing that. They don't have to do it at the same time as Twitch. Is all I'm saying. They can still, do videos. I forgot her name. What the fuck is her name? It was a girl, a cosplayer I was a fan of. I can't think of the name at the moment. But anyway, she did like what a lot of those people did, and they made their money doing the body paint and the different cosplay. And she was like selling calendars and stuff. I never bought none of that shit. But there's plenty of guys that did. So yeah, by all means, you want to body paint and make a video, make it. Just don't do it on Twitch. Get both money. Go on Twitch with some regular clothes, even if you show cleavage, I guess. Whatever. Do your fucking thing. Make your fucking money. Just don't try to get as close to naked as you can because it's like, come on, we know what you're doing. You know what I mean? But also, guys can't cry about it. They just need to get over it. Gaming. Keep gaming strong, buddy. Get over it. That
the world is unfair,
Bear Grylls. Adapt, overcome.
And beautiful women sell.
What was the name?
Do you think that Twitch?
Wait. I'm sorry. Hold on. I didn't mean to pause. Pause, Steve. Hold that thought so we can get that in. Apologies. But what was you gonna say, Eddie?
What was the name of? I think she was a Twitch streamer. She sold her bathwater. I think like Steve would know this.
Oh, that was disgusting. I don't remember the name, but I heard about it.
She sold her
that is
bathwater.
Fucking disgusting. Guys, people were drinking it.
This is our next topic. Hey,
was that loaded? Like, what was that? That came on too fast. That was not planned. How did you have that loaded so fast? That's the dumb. That's the dumb. She's a dummy. I'm sorry, but you know what? You know who's the bigger dummies? The guys that bought the
also Ultimate.
But they're both dummies.
But
this shit is so obnoxious.
I don't know how much I can show of this.
This is kind of sick. Yeah, get rid of this. This is dysfunction, bro. I'm sorry. This is dysfunction.
Yeah.
You know, when you're exploiting,
Well, she's
making money off of bathwater, like you're exploiting sexual deviance. You know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Steve. The delay fucked me up. Go on.
No, she knows that. Like, she's a big troll too. I watch a lot of H3 podcasts, and they're fans of her as well. And she's trolling them, and she gave them like bottles of her spit and shit. But like, if these guys are dumb enough to buy it, more to you, lady.
What's that shit called? Some cuckold shit. And I into that new shit.
You like when you're.
I'm old school. And old school.
Yeah.
I'm old school to the point where like the you know, like old school was like Menage a Trois was like the coolest shit. Like, what the fuck is this bathwater shit? What the fuck is this cuckold shit? It's just getting nasty. I think the world is full of
a lot of a lot of femme dominant and femme worship. A lot of guys like, I guess.
That's what I'm just. Oh, you said the guys
now.
like, yeah. I was gonna say, how did I get into femininity? It's a bunch of perverts. But you're saying like the perverts like to be dominated by like feminists or something?
Yeah,
that's probably true.
Yeah, some of these. There's a couple like other. There's a couple other Twitch streamers like Invader V, who like the guy is pretty much tuned her. She's like their surrogate girlfriend, where she like steps on them and shit. It's weird out there, man.
What do you mean by surrogate girlfriend? Like
oh my god!
And then she like abuses him like a dominatrix.
Kind of, but like weird shit. Like more like verbally because it's Twitch.
The internet made everything weird. Any weird shit, any weird fetish you can think of, there's like a group for it.
Yeah. So back to my other question: do you think like even body painting and shit should be allowed on Twitch? Because I feel like if it's a gaming, and if you're not comfortable with showing what you're watching at work, if it's not safe for work, like I'm at a desk with you, Joey, right? And I walk by, we're in a cubicle, and I'm watching you watch with giant udders, body painting them. How would you feel?
All right, let's if you were in body paint right now, our fucking views would go down. If you were some hot chick in body paint, our views would go up. It's what it comes down to. If they regulate,
so you're saying
if they regulate
a girl
females, if they regulate the females from doing the body paint thing, it kind of levels the playing field for the the dudes that are whining about it. I think
males get banned just for taking the shirt too.
See, I didn't know this stuff. Then they definitely should do something about it. If they ban males for taking their shirt off, they should definitely, I guess, ban the body paint. Definitely. Now that you mention that, like, case solved. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna get so many people like hating the way we're talking because we don't know shit about anything. Really, we're just talking about silly topics.
You're hitting me with surprises, so I'm just, What's fun about Steve? Sometimes you keep me on my toes because you're like, all right, let's have a meeting about the show. I'm like, cool. He's like, okay, I want to hit you with mad surprises. So it's like, all right, we're going in. We're going in hot. Let's find out what happens.
The internet has become so strange in these
dark times.
Like, that's the ultimate hub for all the perverts to meet each other and join and make a big group. What?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just about these strange fights that happen between creators and content creators, between content creators and like the platforms, and how the platforms have now like become. They play things. We talked about this earlier before the podcast started. Is that like a lot of these some of these platforms could just shut you down if they don't like what you're saying. You see now they play favorites. Some people aren't getting banned. One channel will get banned and even like destroyed. A Twitch stream will get destroyed and taken down for something less than that's. I know like girls that have flashed their vaginas and still have a stream the next day. By accident, of course. But is it really by accident? We don't know.
Exactly. Yeah, that's how I felt about when I brought up that story about the girl that was masturbating. She claims it was an accident, but the way I seen the story, In the story that they were telling, they showed like they didn't really show it live thing when I seen it, so I didn't see it live. But they show like clips, and they brought up the beginning, and it says that the girl had all these millions of followers and this and that, and made all this money. So I'm like, me, I just started this live stream shit, just going super live, and it's constantly on my mind that I'm live. How a person who's way more experienced than me, how a person who's been doing it way longer, making all this money, doesn't realize the live buttons on or off. I don't know. I think that's bullshit. I think she may have pretended the live button was off, did that, get some views. It's controversy. Sex sells and bad press sells. You could argue that bad press sells sells more than good press.
I think those about money. These people are bringing in like viewers and making these women money, which is making Twitch, more money. And it just goes back to that. Just, if like a guy who's has barely any views is getting flagged because he just took off his shirt during the stream. And yeah, it's going to make sense.
Did you say we'll make more money if I took my shirt off during the stream? Is that what you said?
If you're not making as much money, you're going to get banned. And these hot women that are just taking off their like body painting or just, like you said, touching themselves in
it is what it is. It's unfair. I talk shit about these guys saying, hey, listen, stop complaining. But I'm podcasting. I may never make a cent. You know what I mean? Like, it's a risk you take. Part of his passion. You hope to make money off of it. When you're a woman, if you want it to be and exploit yourself, you can make a shit ton of money. It is what it is. It's always been that way. And if I cut you off, Eddie, I'm sorry. I'm tipsy.
Yeah.
So back to your subject. It's the after hour show.
No, I get
wild. Because I thought about did I cut Eddie off? I apologize. I can't recall.
Yeah, the delay is pretty bad.
The delay doesn't help. And then tipsy and delay, it's making it a little difficult. It's probably my most difficult live stream. It's after hours. That's what we came here for. We came here to fuck up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because that's part of the charm. So what you got for us, buddy?
Yeah, you got some videos to show us now. If you want to go into that, because I know you got some surprises for me.
So you done with your topics? Because I got some topics. I'm sorry?
Yeah, because I want. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you? Okay. The last thing I want to talk is UFC 249 because I gotta be honest with you, like all three of us were so well. We're reaching 2 hours now. You wanted to take a break.
Yeah. All right. So let me cut you off for 2 seconds. I gotta break the golden seal. Let me use the bathroom really fast. Start UFC 249 with Eddie. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. I'll jump in. We'll talk UFC 249. I gotta take a piss
too, actually. All right, I'm gonna grab a water bottle, so it all works out.
All right, yeah. So let's just bathroom break. All right, break.
All right. What?
Yes, let's get back. We just had a little bathroom break. Let's do it. UFC 249.
We just had a piss break. Now
bathroom
we
break
were
is
MMA
better.
At one point in time.
Okay.
We just got back from a bathroom break, sir. And
some people don't like the word.
So we're going to talk a little bit about MMA. I don't want to go too much about the fight card because I know Joey has his own podcast, and I'm pretty sure he's going to get tired about talking about the same shit over and over again. I just want to talk more about, I guess the regulations and the COVID during this time that the UFC is coming back. How that's kind of affecting it and our take on it. I gotta be honest with you. Ever since, because we were so deep in the MMA game locally, and especially seeing Joey fight, I said some of this yesterday during the preview to this episode. It's stressful, man. It's stressful seeing your friend take hits. It's to see him go through the weight cuts, the mental stress, and the mental fortitude to get ready for fights. On top of that, you're running a podcast, you're running just back and forth, I mean, we were going all over the tri-state area by that time. So I've kind of stepped away from MMA a little bit. I've watched like the big fights, like of course when Conor returned, I watched that. A little bit outside right now of the MMA game. Like of course I know like Tony Ferguson and Rose Namajunas and everything. So let's get our little takes on like this card is to begin with, and then we'll talk about like what news we've heard about their preparation through the COVID crisis pandemic. Have you been following anything, Eddie? Have you been with
I've been
mixed
out
martial arts
for
in
a
the
while.
UFC?
Yeah, I've been out of the loop for a while. I just know somebody just recently just got confirmed, right? Somebody got recently got COVID.
Yeah, Ronald Secure. I always say that shit wrong. You guys know what I'm talking about. Gator.
Yeah, but besides that, yeah, no, I'm out of the loop.
Who?
Ronald Souza. I always say his last name wrong. You know what I'm talking about. His nickname is Gator.
Okay.
Yeah, Ronaldo Souza.
Oh, nice. I said it right. I used to fuck his name up. Yeah, he tested positive. I don't know how that works. I feel like we're gonna know more when UFC is over, because I don't know, it's weird shit. So long story short, about 15, 20 minutes, Steve, before we started airing this, is when the breaking news came out. He tested positive, but he's been around other people. So what does that mean exactly? How does that work out? You know? But long story short, he tested positive, and he was at the weigh-ins with other people who all tested. They tested negative, obviously, because if they tested positive, they'd be like him. But you know, he was still around them. So I don't know, it's weird. But on the same note, if someone else got it, I guess they'll isolate or whatever, you know, needs to be done. So it don't necessarily have to be the end of the world. Like already people are like, oh shit, you know, they shouldn't have done this, and you know, they're gonna hurt people and people are gonna get sick. But you know, the guys will probably be okay. If you look at the NBA, I forgot which player it was that was the first one to pop and have COVID. After that, suddenly all these like you know how many NBA players got it? They don't really talk about it, and all of them were okay. So it is what it is. Some people weren't okay. Obviously, you know, it's terrible what happened to some people, but I don't know. Hopefully, it doesn't ruin UFC, because we're supposed to have UFC Island. We have an event the 13th and the 16th, and then after that, it's supposed to be weekly. And already we got a player testing positive. So I don't know. I'm trying not to think of the worst.
No, did he test positive for the virus or the antibodies, meaning he had passed? That's what I'm confused about.
From what I understand, he tested positive for the virus itself.
So doesn't that
it wasn't an
jeopardize the
antibody
entire
test. Those are
production?
two separate tests. What?
Okay. Doesn't it jeopardize the entire production, meaning that now, even the guy he fights is that.
Well, no, he's not gonna fight. He got pulled from. We lost that fight. The way they're doing it is they're supposed to be testing everybody, including the staff, the camera person, everybody. Fighters were the last to get tested, because they get tested when they get to the island, or maybe before. I'm not quite sure. No, I think. Oh, I'm sorry, they're not on the island yet. That's where I'm mistaken. The next 3 events are in Florida. They're in Florida.
Do you know how long he's been on the island in the vicinity of people, like in the facility stuff?
Maybe the delay kicked in. But I was saying that it's not at the island yet. The island begins next week. The card for the island has been announced. They've announced 3 cards. Saturday, May 9th, the Ferguson versus Geth. And then we got an event the 13th, Wednesday, and the Saturday after next. Gaethje. What's that, Geth? Because you know, you know what's funny is that
I know how you are though. It's okay.
No, but not just that. Yes, I have that tendency. You're right. But also too, it's one of those names where I wish I could think of a good example where they say the name 2 separate ways, like Jose Aldo, Josie Aldo, or I wish I could think of another example, because I've heard Geth Engage.
Well,
I like
most
to say Geth. I don't know if I'm right.
well, Husamar, Palhares, Husamar, shit like that.
That's another good example. Yeah, there's a couple
Husamar.
guys.
People say
Yeah,
Husamar sometimes. A lot of those are names.
I'm sure that the person knows, whoever owns the name knows. But yeah, the commentators be saying either or. So I'm sorry.
What I asked before, I guess the delay fucked it up a little bit, was I was asking, like, how long was he at the facility where he was? Did they stay there
I can't confirm.
a couple
any of that stuff.
days? Because now,
From what I understand,
okay.
not a couple
Because
days.
now, like,
But he was there from what I understand, before he tested positive, he was around other people for about 12 hours.
all right, so that I think I read that it takes like 20 minutes in the room with to breathe that shit in or contagion like that.
No,
So
that
do you think they
airborne
should
shit.
continue the event?
I mean, just to correct that though, that airborne shit is not. It's not what people think it is. It's not airborne because someone breathed it out. It could become airborne under the circumstance situation of an aerosol machine. But aerosol machine, a good example I can think of is asthma treatment. An asthma treatment takes liquid, nebulizer, it takes medicine, a liquid, and it turns it into vapors. If someone has COVID and they take one of these machines that will turn the liquid into vapor, then it could possibly, by the CDC standards, become airborne. And even then, the CDC themselves will say that they're not quite sure if and how much contagious it is. I just wanted to, say that. What is a funny coincidence that Jacro happened to come in gloves and a mask, and he's the only guy that popped. So that's ironic. Because they didn't have to wear gloves and a mask, and he still came with it, and he's the fucker that popped.
You think he obviously knew, and that do you think he's asymptomatic?
No, he didn't know. He has to be asymptomatic because if he had breathing problems or a cold or a flu, it would be noticeable, and you would see it, and he would know. And from what I seen in the footage,
tough as shit.
He didn't look like anything. All the basketball players were apparently asymptomatic. That's another thing too. Different celebrities, some got sick, some didn't. But as far as the NBA players, coincidentally, they were all asymptomatic, as far as I know. And a lot of guys.
The reason I brought up the whole breathing thing was because I read an article back in the day. I just found it, not back in the day, like in April, where they actually believed at one point that COVID could be spread by breathing and talking and shit. I don't know if it's fear mongering or whatever, but they said they did.
No. I'm not saying you're fear mongering, but you see in a certain. No, again, go back to what you were just showing, if you could, please. If you're referring to a situation, like what you just shown, then just to distinguish a little bit and clarify, that's droplets. If somebody's talking, the droplets go a certain distance and they fall. You know what I mean? But it's not necessarily airborne. Airborne is a very specific thing. And if something is airborne, then you could argue, why are we quarantined? If something is airborne, it's everywhere then. You know what I'm saying? The air from inside your house is the same as the air outside your house. If it would just float in the air because someone was breathing, you know how many more people would have it? Like everybody probably would have it better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I was more talking about like the contact. If he's talking, spit particles end up on the surface. Some surfaces they can live up to certain hours.
Yeah. That's all different. That's all different. How you say? Different information, different facts or this or that on stuff. I just meant airborne is airborne. Airborne is airborne. It's there all the time. It's floating around. It's everywhere. There was a meme floating around that was showing like almost like as if COVID was alien invaders, and it was floating all over the place, and people were like, "Yeah, man, it's airborne. We're gonna, this is fucking crazy. This is why you can't go outside because it's floating in the air." And it's like, no, if somebody has COVID and they walking down the block and nobody's on that block, right? And they start coughing, It's not floating in the air. And then someone comes an hour later, walks down that block, that open air area. And no, airborne is very specific. It's a strong word. It's a very strong word to use, is all. But if I got long-winded, just cut that out. Because I'm pretty sure people
It's
are gonna
not
hate
like
me
the.
because I
What'd
said
you
it's
say?
not airborne. I said I'm pretty sure people are gonna hate me now because I said it's not airborne. But what do you think? You think it's airborne, Eddie?
Well, I'm asking. I'm trying to.
Sorry. No, I agree. I don't think it's airborne in the definition of airborne, which is like how certain like disease would spread. But like due to like coughing, I do think like it could expand from one person to another, like depending on how someone talks. Like if they were to spit a lot while they're talking, or
Yeah, I
just
spit a lot.
yeah, or just like
If I would get it, I'll probably have it right now. I'm spitting all over this.
yeah, or like a sneeze. A sneeze, like this research, reaches like what 6 feet. That's why the holes stay 6 feet apart from each other.
I guess technically some say 6, some say
Oh.
a little bit longer. But that's kind of like that is always been the case. The droplets they spread. When they show that video where they say, listen, let's look how far the droplets spread. The smallest parts that you see in the video, those would be microscopic. They zoom it in so you can see it in the air, so you can see how far it travels, so you can see how far it expands, so you can see how much it fills up. So I just feel like that's common sense, not just like sound like asshole or anything, but like you know what I mean. It's gonna spread that way. It's not airborne. People think airborne and they just get really irrational.
When I think airborne, I think of the.
Well, that's what I.
Sorry, I was thinking of the movie I Am Legend. That disease in that movie, that was airborne. That
I
caused
love that movie.
Will Smith.
Yeah.
No,
It's not the greatest movie. It's not the greatest movie at all.
But
But
it's the only
something
one
that
I
I
can
like
think
it.
of an example of how quickly it spread.
Well, The Walking Dead. The reason I brought it up was because people get confused with airborne with projectile, coughing,
Yeah,
sneezing,
it's projectile. That's how I
service
was trying to
text,
get it.
and that's I try to play devil's advocate and act stupid,
Try to get me in
and
trouble.
then
It's a
you
sensitive
guys
topic.
go at it.
I was trying to get off it
Oh,
because I just don't feel it's airborne.
airborne.
I feel
Airborne
like
is like airborne is like with The Walking Dead where everybody had it. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. If it's airborne,
was
everyone would
airborne.
have it. Everyone has it. Exactly. It cannot be airborne, and there'll be some people who have it and some that don't. That's ultimately the main concept. And some people can't get that concept. They almost get offended if you imply it's not airborne. I've literally gotten to like heated debates where I've accidentally offended people because I was trying to distinguish that it was not airborne. It's a hot topic right
Why
now.
would they get angry about that?
I don't know. Some people maybe they feel their intelligence has been questioned. Maybe some people feel that I'm overstepping. I don't know. You have to ask them. I'm sure it's some silly reason. Weren't we supposed to talk about 249? Oh yeah, we started with 249. We ended up with COVID.
Because he got tested COVID, and I was wondering, was like during the midst of it all, like, do you even think that it was right for them to even put on this fight?
I think that's not my opinion. Don't
Okay.
matter if it's right or not. I just think I needed it. I think I wanted it. My honest, 100% honest opinion is: listen, it's a really complicated situation. People, I don't know what to say. If we stick around and we fight numbers and we only fight numbers and we only fight trying to stop every single person from getting it, it's almost an impossible task. If you fight that, I don't know where we can end up, but it's unsustainable ultimately. Also, too, as a fight fan, I want to see the fights. If they want to bring sports back, I'm not going to sit there and judge whether they should or they shouldn't. I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I'm just going to watch.
Fair point. I personally think they should have done that. Yeah, like especially like unless everybody in this fight is on this island, No one came in, no one came out since this whole pandemic started. Because at the end, you're having two of these big men just fighting each other immensely. So, like, let's say someone gets severely injured, now you have to go to the hospital. A hospital filled with sick people that can easily get the disease. I just think it's too much of a risk to send somebody to do that, to take that kind of gamble, pretty much.
That's a fair point you make, Eddie. But you mentioned risk and you talk about risk. That makes sense because as a fighter, even before COVID, a fighting is a risk. So when the fighters, what I think is not fair? Anybody that judges any fighter that goes in there tomorrow, they chose the fight. They assume the risk. They have the right to assume the risk. The same way people have the right to assume the caution and stay home and do the things that they're being told will help. Ultimately, the fighter's going to take the risk. So absolutely, you're entitled to opinion. I got a little off track. I forgot what I was going to say, Eddie. but ultimately, that's what I was saying. The fighters. I'm sure there's some fighters. Stipe Miocic is a good example. Stipe Miocic. I don't know if you guys know Eddie. I don't know if you know Steve. He said flat out.
Miocic.
Stipe Miocic. And I'm just kidding. Stipe Miocic.
He's the best heavyweight we have.
He's a first responder. He's a fireman. You guys know that, right? Probably, maybe not. Doesn't matter. All right. So I'm just informing you. He's a fireman. So that makes him a first responder. But he's also the heavyweight champion. He's refusing to defend his belt because of the pandemic. Obviously, he has a good point. He also has every right to decide what he wants, but he's also the champion. He can't decide not to fight and still stay the champion. You know what I mean? Whether it's right or not is your opinion, but whether a man or a woman wants to risk it to fight, I guess is their opinion, And tomorrow we got I think 11 fights. We had 12, but 11 because we lost one. So we got 11 fights of people who were just like, fuck it, I want to fight. Because I guess what you're saying, Eddie, is like kind of what Stipe said. And even Khabib has hinted at that, where they felt like maybe the UFC shouldn't be on because of the pandemic. But I feel like if those people want to risk it, let them do it, especially when they want to earn a paycheck. It's complicated.
See, the way I see that though is like, let's say this happens, and let's say they don't even get they get the corona, but they're not really affected by it. Like some people still carriers. That's how something spreads so easily like that. Gets one person to another one. They took the chance of fighting, but at the cost, they spread a disease, and it's just making things a little harder for everybody.
I guess yes and no, because it's easy to think that anybody who doesn't go against the guidelines that they set is spreading. But what are our essential workers? They're spreading. So then it really comes down to people are deciding who could spread it and who can't.
That's fair enough, but I see I don't see fighting as an essential worker. I see them. I love fighting.
It's understandable, but that's what I mean. It comes down to they believe which types of earning money are allowed based on what is important and what's not. But you could also argue that any income you use to support yourself or your family is essential. A haircut, let's say a barber, a haircut doesn't sound essential, but a barber's paycheck is essential. It's a complicated situation.
It's fair point.
I don't know if I started some shit. I don't got no beef ready.
Well,
I mean, a barber doesn't make
I guess all fast food workers are essential.
But yeah,
food is essential, especially when you're under the stress. Food is essential. You know what bothers me? I don't know if you guys know, but there are some states that banned growing seeds in food plants. What the fuck is that about? And some places are
the New World Order
going so far as to probably. They're trying to ban
underground
bunkers stores and organic stores. I don't understand. How do you ban food of any sort? I'm against bad food, obviously. I eat bad food. I'm fat. I'm chubby. But I would try to advocate for healthy food. But in a pandemic, any food is essential. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's survival.
Taco Bell ran out of tacos by me.
Did you hear Wendy's ran out of burgers?
Jesus.
Oh, you guys don't know
Yeah,
about that.
by me too.
Yeah, a lot of Wendy's,
No, I
not
know.
all of them. So you might
I
still
literally
see.
have Taco Bell and Wendy's right next to each other.
So you Taco Bell ran out of tacos? You were joking or you serious? Because I'm serious about Wendy's.
No, I'm serious.
So
I'm
they ran
serious,
out of
man.
cat food.
I'm not
'Cause
gonna
that's
fuck
what
with your
Taco Bell was made of.
tacos.
They ran out. They
Yeah.
ran out of cat food. Wow, I'm gonna take a shot to that because we're fucked. When they run out of cat food and burgers, we're screwed.
Mhm.
They
So
ran
you know
out
what,
of taco
gentlemen?
shells and everything.
We're gonna podcast until the world ends, and when it ends, it was a nice ride, gentlemen. I want you guys to know it was great serving with you. Who knows what the fuck is happening? But there's food shortages. There's all types of crazy shit coming. You know, our podcast, because it's fun, it's good for you. But this quarantine, everyone needs a little bit of therapy. But there isn't just uncertainty. There's also certain doom coming. So we're gonna find out, man. You know, there's food shortages.
I
There's
think it's gonna get a lot.
politicians
I think it's gonna get
fighting.
worse. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, excuse me. Logically, in a situation like this, it's probably predetermined to get worse before better.
Mm.
And even better, it's probably going to be better for some, not all. You know, it's complicated. This is crazy.
Yeah, I don't mean the fact that I'm like I said before, fear mongering. It's the fact that I know there's a lot of players in this game that want to I don't know what the best way to say this. I'm not even gonna say it. Fuck it. I'll have haters on me and shit.
he's
Fuck
gonna
everybody.
he's gonna plead
You
the
know?
fifth, ladies and gentlemen. That's okay. Sometimes you got to do it. I respect it. I plead the fifth sometimes.
Just saying, like, I know, you got just got a lot of things culminating. You got people who want to make money, who want to go back to work, and are not allowed, saying they can't go back to work. So you got a buildup of that. Then you got another buildup of, you know, restlessness.
You know,
And what else I'm trying to say here.
I've been talking a lot with my buddy, and it ultimately comes down to this. You know, I say complicated, and what I mean by complicated is that we have a virus issue and we have a financial crisis issue. And ultimately, the leaders and the people that are calling the shots only seem to be fixated on solving the virus problem, which I understand and I get, but we have multiple problems at once. And if you only focus on one problem, the other problems are they're gonna sneak up on you. You know what I mean? And ultimately, that's what it comes down to. I don't hear.
Something to bring up.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
You finish. Just let me know when you're done because I have something to add to it.
Oh, no, it was just pretty much that. In my opinion, and being fully blown honest, is that it's hard to argue with people who are focused on the virus because the virus has become a problem. But we got a lot of other problems that are just as serious as the virus that I feel are being blatantly ignored. And they're going to bite us in the ass. That's pretty much it.
One of the obvious problems, of course, is that, I had my rent actually raised today.
No, I didn't know that. And that is fucking crazy. Why?
Bucks.
I'm sorry, how much?
This is the last, about $50. This is the last time I'm renting from, this is the last year because we're going to buy a house. Okay. And out of nowhere, in a global pandemic, first of all, this woman hasn't even known that I've been out of work. Thankfully, my girl's still working. Thankfully, I got unemployment. I'm one of the lucky ones out of everybody that signed up that actually got it.
Yeah, some people didn't get it.
So, but she has no idea about this. And during the pandemic, and we didn't even ask, we didn't do the smart thing and ask for renter's forgiveness because we could afford it. So we didn't want to, we don't know what she's some rich lady who she's like in Florida right now. So we didn't want to hinder, we can afford it. So we're going to pay. And this morning she said another $50 added to our rent, which is another $600 altogether in the year. And I don't know, it's just messed up,
Yeah.
But speaking of solutions, I just saw a bill proposed today by 3 senators: Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris, and I forgot the other one, the third one. And it was to the American people. I think starting next month or this month, retrograded $2,000 a month, so we each get $6,000 so far. $6,000 a month on top of that, and it would be amazing.
So that's confirmed.
But now
really
with that
gonna happen?
inflation, I don't know, because it was just presented today, and
Oh,
I hope it
okay.
happens. It would be a good stimulus package, but then on the other hand, it's like keep injecting the economy with this kind of money, inflation takes over, and then the dollar. It doesn't matter how many dollars you have in your bank if they're worthless. You know what I'm saying?
It's an onion
But
right now. There's so many
I
layers.
think it'll be a Band-Aid.
It's a tough situation because I understand the people that are focused on trying to fight it back by reducing and spreading, but I don't know if it's sustainable. Plain and simple. So it's like, which one do you deal with?
I mean, I don't think it's not sustainable, of course, but it should help a lot of people out if you get fucking $8,000 retrograded.
No, what I meant by
in retrospect.
what's not sustainable is I meant shutting down businesses for long periods of time. In the beginning in New York, I speak for New York,
Of
they said,
course.
hey, listen, they said, all right, we're gonna do this, and then we did that, and then we're like, we're gonna do this, and then we did that, and then they said we're gonna do this, and we did that, and then now they're saying, hey, get used to it, it's the new norm. We're reimagining things. And
That's what scares me too.
that's easy for some to say, some people can't reimagine. There's nothing to reimagine. So it's complicated. There's going to be victims either way you look at it.
It blows my mind though that the government can just give us
All right,
like that, and we can't get like free healthcare. But that's just me. Trillions of dollars.
It's funny.
Yeah.
I did a meme that pissed a lot of people off because they're like, they argue, socialism is bad. They don't like socialism. Free healthcare gets associated with socialism. But as soon as there's a pandemic, they're like, yo, we could use a little bit of socialism. So it's just ironic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, Social Security socialism. Anyways, let's not get it because everyone's going to hate us.
I know.
We all have very different views.
I didn't even necessarily have a view. I feel like everybody has points. But listen, ultimately it comes down to that. Like, you got to learn the balance. And they don't typically, by they, I mean the people that get to really decide what happens. They don't typically look for balancing. I don't believe in politics. I don't believe in either side. I don't believe in a voting system, to be 100% honest with you, because if my vote doesn't pick the winner, why would I vote? Why do politicians and why do people invest so much time in deciding who they trust and who they want to lead, the presidency, if your vote don't matter? It's a weird thing. It's a weird thing to me.
It's like Hegelian dialect. It's an illusion of choice.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I believe.
That
I believe
makes you
if you give them an illusion of choice, people don't realize they don't have a choice.
I mean, look at the 2016 election. Hillary Clinton won the popular vote. People wanted Clinton, but it went to Trump because he got the electoral.
Shit, I didn't like nobody. That's me. I'm that guy.
Both garbage people, but
yeah.
But that's what happened though. It's the people really wanted her by like 1 million extra. I think I don't know.
People could pick their sides, but I lost faith a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
Oh,
All right, we're getting too heavy now. I don't want to go out sad.
It's a roller coaster. So you know what? How about this? Let's. Oh wow! I didn't realize we did that one. How about this? Let's do a couple minutes on UFC 249 to like balance out the heaviness we just got.
Nah, that's over.
You don't want to talk about 2 cents? So you want us to go into intermission? Because I got stuff I can show you to lighten up the mood that you can edit in later. I just kind of want to take
Yeah.
an intermission real quick.
We'll go into it's getting pretty fucking late. Like it's almost 3 a.m. here.
Yeah, I might actually have to head out.
I know Eddie's got work.
So let's sign Eddie out.
All right, guys. It was fun.
Wait, time out.
Time out.
Time out.
That's right.
Are you coming back?
Yeah, I'll come back. This is fun.
Okay, then go on. I just wanted to hear you say it on live.
Right,
so I can hold it against you. Because I definitely want to see you back. But go ahead, Steve.
The original
Yeah,
trio.
Steve and Eddie.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, guys. It was super fun.
No, just on. Surprise.
Super fun, and thank you for having me. And I hope to come back.
It was good to see you. Yo, when you do come back, we got hashtags. Your hashtag is always ready, Eddie.
Got it. I saw this and I came in as Eddie, and I'm like, oh, I fucked up.
It's okay. It's an inside joke, but that's Eddie's nickname when he comes join us. Always ready, Eddie. He knows what it means. We all know what it means.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you guys later.
Thank you for joining us, buddy.
No problem. Peace out.
Take care, bro.
Love you guys too.
Yeah. We all love each other. I love you guys too. Steve could help us though. I love you, Eddie.
All right, guys, later.
Adios.
So Eddie, now, so we're gonna go to like Joey's little meme corner. He's really good at using scouring the internet for things that make me laugh or just crazy shit that we see, and we'll go to that for a little bit. So what do you?
A lot of pressure on me. A lot of pressure on me. All right, so
let me know when you want me to screen so I can.
All right, so we're gonna save. We had a couple topics, but we had a guest on, so we got a little long-winded. It was a good convo. We plan to be really spontaneous, so we're gonna save the topics for next time. But we're gonna go over the memes, and I'm ready. All right, so for what I understand, I'm in New York. I follow New York. I believe she's affiliated with Chicago, or am I wrong? Do you know who this is? She's a politician, mayor,
That's
governor.
fucking hilarious.
She was using the meme. I got nothing against her. I just wanted to discuss the meme. If you go to a party, you will go to jail because of coronavirus. If you are in jail, we will let you out because of coronavirus. How do you feel about that? Because New York is one of the places where they're letting people out of jail. And in their words, they're letting people out of jail to fight coronavirus. Yet they're putting people in jail to fight coronavirus.
Dude, honestly, I don't get it. I know there's been like a lot of dangerous people let out because of the coronavirus, but I'm like, who fucking cares about them? They're in jail. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm saying, but like humans anymore. I don't understand. I feel like a jail would be easier to control the coronavirus in.
That's kind of what I thought. Absolutely. That's kind of what I thought because, quarantine isolation is kind of like jail in the sense of nobody's being let out. So it's a very peculiar thing.
The only ones in and out are the guards and the administration. So if that is okay, like there'd be no, and I guess new jailmates, but then you would just have to have like things in place to I guess deal with contaminations and testing, even though I know New York doesn't have all the testing right now, right? Is it still having trouble with testing?
No, we were having testing trouble with testing a couple weeks ago. Since then they've been like boasting about how testing has increased each day. So they're doing a lot of testing ultimately. That's the concept. But who knows? But
I just feel like that just
I just find it weird, it's such a complicated situation. I'm sorry, what are you saying, Steve?
No, dude, like we're in a movie, the simulation is broken. This is all just a movie. This is all a bitch's bad dream.
It feels like the Matrix.
We're gonna wake up.
Like the Matrix. All right, what we got here?
I'm not kidding. I had this feeling once it hit 2020, like I was like, I just got a bad feel about this, and then this all just starts happening. And it's ridiculous.
It's funny you say that because I had the same bad feeling. Like, you know what? I think this is the year where everything's gonna turn to shit. I found this funny because quotation marks. You know, I I didn't realize how important quotation marks are until this meme. You know, if you say the same sentence, congrats
3
on your
different times.
baby, congrats on your baby, and congrats on your baby. It's saying a lot of fucked up insulting shit. And I'm a fan of this meme. I just wanted to get your take on it.
Well, as a writer, like, I know I knew about this because of how important it is, and not just, like, even, like, italicizing a word and shit. So, the English language is very, beautiful. You go back poetically with it, and, many different things. You can say "fuck you" a lot of different ways besides simply saying "fuck you," and that's what's the beauty about it.
That is very very true. That is very true. It has many
Yeah.
connotations and connotations to it. Let me go back for a second. All right, so that was 1, 2. I had to know the number for a certain reason. You'll see later.
Face.
All right, here we go. A lot of people are bitter and upset, or
It
they feel like he's being bold or a cowboy. The UFC. Um, I'm here to play devil's advocate, right? So everybody's like, Dana's greedy. He only cares about money. You know, you could argue that he's not going to make money off of UFC 249. They make money off of everything combined, including ticket sales. They're hurting on ticket sales. They're only going to be able to stream.
Well,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
they have a contract, I believe, with ESPN that they have to have these certain amount of fights during the year. Otherwise, they're
Exactly,
fucked.
buddy. You're on
So,
it, Steve. You're
self-preservation.
on it. All right. That's what I was going to get at. A lot of people don't understand the contract game. And they owe a certain amount of shows to ESPN and they have to get them done, whether they make money or not, because they already got paid. Last I checked, I heard
Yeah.
I think they owe them 42, if I'm not mistaken, they owe them 42 shows. They've had 7 or 8. So they got to start doing some shows. So it is what it is, you know? All right, here we go. We're going to another one. Oh, I skipped it. I ruined it.
Damn
All
it.
right. So you know how they have memes that where they're like,
I'm American.
if you can see this, or if you can read this, you're like super intelligent. You have a high IQ. All right. So I found one of those memes, right? And only the people of the highest IQ can read the text. Can you read the words in this meme? You stupid.
Yeah.
You should have seen the word already. All right, so you failed the test. Your IQ is below. It's below average.
What? What? I
What?
said, yeah.
What? I know. I'm fucking with you. It was a stupid meme. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of these memes where they're like,
Oh,
if, if you're this IQ, you can read this. But we all know that everybody can read this shit. But they like to give you this prestigious feeling that you're some fucking intellectual or genius.
yeah.
You know, fucking
I
Matt
thought the
Damon.
delay had
So that obviously says
I said I thought the
CRNA coronavirus.
corona
um,
I thought
I
the
don't
delay
know.
had betrayed me and you couldn't.
Oh, I don't know how other male species are, but one of my greatest passions is annoying my girlfriend. It's so much fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think, Steve?
Yeah. Yeah, it's me. I'm a bull buster, and I don't know why, but you should stop where you're ahead, and you're just like, "Let me twist the knife a little more," and it's totally despite my face.
It's such a good point because the
Totally despite
more
my
I know
face.
I should stop, the more I go. I don't know what is it about us. I think we're hardwired. All right, let's move
It's hilarious.
on. You read this one out.
Oh, shit. I thought he was wearing a mask. I thought he was wearing
Yeah,
a
this
a
is a
pale
reuse.
mask.
I had to use this. I use this on the MMA Smash podcast, the other podcast I do. I had to reuse it for this. It's too good. It just caught it at the right placement. It looks like a mess. Let's talk about social distancing for a second. Take in this meme real quick.
What the fuck is the point of this, Steve?
Okay, I got an answer. Now, the IQ is usually determined by, it's like a mean and an average of people, meaning that half of the people are usually above or around the normal IQ, but don't forget the other half is below it. And I think there's a lot more. That's half of the half of the population who have low IQs are probably all in this line right here. And I've seen
Definitely.
this. I've seen
Oh,
something
you-
like this. I actually keep his distance from me. Yeah, in a car.
Yeah, I thought I saw a little
It's
scenario
it's
like that too. Maybe people think vehicles are like Disney and the cars in Disney, and maybe they sneeze and cough, but it's like, what the fuck are you doing? You're inside a capsule. Why? It goes to show you how powerful emotions are.
window. I thought my fucking blinds is open. Oh,
I can't
did you
tell
see
the
that?
box is so small.
Something caught my eye.
They may or may not, but you could go back and check the footage. That'll be interesting. Because I don't know if the blinds were open or not, but now they kind of look openish.
Right?
I don't know what they
We'll
were
save
like.
that for Halloween episode because me and you go deep.
It's funny you brought that up. My buddy on the other podcast was like, "Yo, I like the Halloween shit." He's like, "I can't wait to Halloween." I was like, "Yeah, that's what we do. We do Halloween specials, ghost stories." All right, so next meme, because now I
My
know you're
house is
scared.
definitely haunted.
You want to run away? Oh yeah, we're gonna
It was
save
like
that for Halloween.
19.
You gotta save that
I
for
got some
this year's
stories for
Halloween.
you.
Yeah, because you gave out all your other
Alright.
stories on back on the other after hour show, and now we're on the new after hour show. So you gotta
Right.
give your new ghost stories for that.
I got Joey. I got way more ghost stories
Oh, great! So that's gonna
that
be great.
happened after the after hour show.
We'll have plenty of content for the Halloween special, which is around the corner when you think about it. All right, so we got here because of the quarantine. Man, people's cooking skills got exposed. I just thought this meme was hilarious.
My girl, Mike's a cook. Right.
this is two,
So I cook.
this is 2020 summed up. This is how I wake up every fucking
These are good.
morning.
Where'd you get these?
Just random.
That's how the hell do you know that? Oh man, these are fucking fire.
It's getting bad.
I feel like an old guy now. I'm just
In Boston, they're trying to make a fine where it's $10,000 for not social distancing, for not following the arrows. They're putting arrows on the public streets. Things are getting really.
yeah, I've seen them.
So let's take it back to the old days. Do you remember the good old sweet days when Tomb Raider first came out?
Yeah.
You know, we talked about Final Fantasy VII before. That was 23 years ago, right? My first crush was Tifa from
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII. What the fuck was I crushing on?
They lowered her.
Tifa was like
I don't get
Tifa
it.
was like 2 pixels.
You were personality, man. You're not shallow at all. Even though she was like one of the bustiest characters, like with renditions of her, and they lowered her bust size in the new one.
Pointy ass.
You know?
What is this? But you know, every 11-year-old was like, "Yo, Tomb Raiders, where's that?"
How's her?
We're almost
Fuck
done.
yeah,
we're
Laura
almost
Croft
there.
is a legend.
This I think would have been a great idea for UFC 249. You take the
Oh,
just
dude.
bleed guy and put him a cutout cardboard. I'm sorry, a cutout cardboard of the Just Bleed guy. This is Taco Bell in a nutshell.
It's funny because they're out of tacos now, so there's nothing in the box.
Yeah, that's a good point.
What's in the
Yeah,
fucking?
when I designed
You know-
this meme, I thought before the taco shortage. Damn, son, tacos are good. I'm gonna miss
Uh,
tacos.
Funny thing is that like every time I go to Taco Bell, I always get a box because I'm excited to see what the box is, and I'm like, "Ooh, what do they got today?" Because they always have something new. Because I go there so often, so different, so not often. Oh, let me see.
The $5 box. I know what you're talking about. That's the jump off. Everybody loves the $5 box. This is New. Oh wait, this is New York in a nutshell. Every like
Well,
they give a
California
date,
too.
and when that day comes, they say, "Hey, you're back on." It's rough. It's rough out here, Steve. It's rough out here. But you guys are reopening up more than us. New York is like we're tough. We're hunkering down. It's gonna be tough for us, man. We got a lot of shit to deal with. Whoops. Whoa. Here we go. What do you think of this meme?
It's fucking annoying. It's hilarious. So I start doing it if you're
All right, you play Resident
people are
Evil,
really
right?
stupid. I already saw it. It's Nemesis.
Yeah, Nemesis.
Oh
Virtually
my,
identical.
she's pretty, gorgeous.
Nah, but when this cavities
Have you
show
seen the
over
new?
here,
Scary. Have you seen the new Resident Evil 3
yeah, I played the
remake and
demo.
everything?
I don't have the game yet. I played the demo though. Resident Evil 2 remake was phenomenal, amazing. I haven't played part 3 outside of the demo, but from what I hear, part 3 is really short, and it's just a slightly not as good as part 2, but still a good game.
Yeah, I watched all of Nemesis scenes and everything. He's like the worst timer when you think about it, because like all he has to do is kill Jill, and he
Yeah,
can't kill Jill.
yeah. I heard
He
they made
does
him a
like the
little.
least. Out of everyone.
Supposedly he jumps now, and he could open doors, so
He's
maybe
not
it's
like
scary.
yeah. He's also he looks a lot more jacked too, like way more out.
Word.
But when he
That's
turns into
cool.
like his second form, yeah, his second form is
Wait,
pretty sick. But like when they their second form, like they're unbeatable, and like I'm like, how is she surviving this shit? And then I'm like, oh,
yeah.
it's a game. I'm an idiot.
That
Yeah,
happens. A good game will make you forget it's a game. I like the immersive games. You said you watched Tiger King, so enjoy this. Baby Tiger King.
that Carol Baskins is fucking scary. And was that
They're
the
all
show guy
scary.
at the bottom? Was that his name? What was his name?
Fuck-
This-
What?
they're just you couldn't cast a better crew. You know what I'm saying? Like reality. Like I said, the simulation's broken. You couldn't
Uh,
cast better people.
we definitely should do a Tiger King special one day, so we could really break it down. Where we don't got to worry about spoilers, so we can't really talk on it now. But anybody watching, if you haven't watched Tiger King, you really need to get on it. Tiger King is one of the wildest rides I've ever been on. One thing I noticed about the documentary is every episode was like full of plot twists. Every time I thought I understood what was happening and I thought I understood one of the characters, they completely just changed the whole board game, and it was nothing like I thought. It was crazy.
They're making a
They're making a new one. You said?
Nicolas Cage.
Oh, I heard about
Well,
that.
they're gonna make a movie playing Joe.
I think this is the last meme I have, or it is maybe one more after this. I like this one. Dad, what is an alcoholic? Son, do you see these 4 cars? An alcoholic would see 8, but Dad, there are only 2. That's a dad joke, but that is great. It's a
I guess
dysfunctional dad joke. I love it.
I have seen this one before. The rest I
Okay.
haven't seen at all. Like you're really good with that.
It's
And
funny you
this
said
one,
that because I swear I was like, you know what? He probably seen this one. This is the last one, I believe.
oh Jesus!
Ignore everything up here. Just know that this is the worst wedgie any man has ever received in the history of humankind.
I've done the exact thing in the pool. Have you done that before?
Wait, I'm
Or is it
sorry.
just me?
You did this to somebody?
Yeah, I used to do it to my brother in the pool and shit.
I just feel bad for that person. That gotta hurt.
Ultra wedgie.
Jesus, man. That is a
My brother
mega
who
ultra
also
super wedgie.
my brother had to get 6 inches of his colon removed because I did it too hard.
Holy shit. Yo, that's a funny coincidence. All right. I got
I'm
a
fine.
story for that. Before I get into
I'm
a
kidding.
story for that. Oh, you're kidding? Oh, I was gonna say when I was I forgot how young. I believe I was shit, man. I don't even know. I was maybe 6 or 7 years old. So I was really young. It's an honest mistake. But my younger sister, mind you, I'm 6, 7, maybe 8. Excuse me. She was pretending to do a split. She's a child. I'm a small child as well. I grabbed her legs and I helped her do the split. And by accident, I helped her injure herself. She injured her groin muscle. It was a big ordeal.
Oh.
I felt like shit about it. I was too young to understand, but I do remember feeling bad about it. Um, so yeah, man. For a second, I thought it related to you, but I thought you hurt your brother's rectum. But you're a filthy liar.
No, that's the after hours. So please keep your butthole safe from me and
Yes,
Joe.
you set me up. You set me up, pal. I think that's the last
I
me.
set you up.
Yeah, that's the last one. That's the last one. So you just gotta
Yes.
edit that.
All right. Well, yeah, I will. I'll take care of it. Don't. That's it. That's episode 1. Went mad long. We did Joe Rogan style.
Yeah.
We having a good
If
time.
you want, if you
We
want
got
to
deep.
yeah.
No, I was saying we got deep. We got goofy. I play the devil's advocate on everything because it was fun. And it was just good to hear everybody's views because it's been a while since we all talked. You know.
Yes, absolutely. It was a
So you
pleasure.
like it?
It was a pleasure. Yeah, the lag, something we gotta get used to. I had a lot of fun. It was good to see Eddie. It was good to see you. And yeah, I look forward to more after hours show and to getting crazy. It was a long time since we got to get deep, and a lot of things happened since we last spoke. Not just in our own lives and our own growth, but in this madness that's happening with this pandemic. So I just want to say to the people listening, the followers, keep following us. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna bug out. We did a little bit of bugging out today, but we also did a lot of venting today. With this quarantine, everybody's having a hard time. And just stick with us. Follow the show. We're gonna get crazy.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by, everybody. One of my Mr. for stopping by, everybody. uh, no, I had a great time, and we'll be doing this every Friday, right? And I'm gonna. It should be out. I'm trying to get it out Saturday. How's that? And the podcast will be first released in long form. Just with a few edits down in case we fuck up or say something stupid, and then we're gonna be including clips. So there'll be segments within the podcast if you don't have enough time to watch the full podcast, or you just want to go over to see one special clip again. That content, so you'll see that probably the Monday after it's recorded, and then we're just gonna try to get a schedule and just keep it going.
Yeah,
Consistency.
we'll
That's what I
try our
want.
best.
And
Everybody's going through a lot, but we'll try our best. Yeah, I appreciate that, Steve Mandy.
Yep.
Taking care of us, making sure
Yep.
our fans get a good show. Thank you.
I'll let you have the last word. Say goodbye, and what's your tags for your new podcast?
I appreciate that. New podcast. Make sure you guys check out MMA Smash Podcast. Make sure you guys continue to follow the After Hour Show. With everything going on, everybody needs a little bit of an outlet to vent. And we hope that these shows give you guys that because it certainly gives us that. And it was awesome to catch up with you, Steve. And I'm glad we're back.
Yeah, me too. All right, you have a good night, okay, man?
Yeah, buddy. Take care. Have a good night. Have a good night, everybody.
All right, brother. See you.